Hello there, hello there, hello there, hello there. What's going on? What's happening? Welcome back. Random show settings with your host, your illustrious host, your fantastic friend you wish you never had, Agostino Zinga. It's a random show, episode number 220. That's 220 to you. That's 220 to you who speak Espanol. What's happening? What's actually happening, my friends? Hope you are well wherever this live stream may find you. I hope you are doing swimmingly as I am. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. I'm doing really, really good. I really am happy that you asked how I'm doing. Big up everybody tuning in. Appreciate every single one of you coming in little by little, hanging out with me. It's always a blast, never a chore. Big up my guy Coiler. What's happening? What's happening, Uche? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's fucking going on? Hope you're all well. Come in, come in, come in. One come in, two come in, three come in. All of you can come in. Okay? Come in, come in, come in. £1 fish. What's happening? How's going on? Big up Silver Wrench. What's happening? Horror movie hustle. How are you? Hope you're well. Space Sky, my G, happily. Hope you're good. I'm happy you're here actually. Happy, happy, happy. What's good? Was it Humdrum? What's good, Humdrum? What's good, Humdrum? What's happening? Hope you're all well. Hope you're all well. Hope you're all well. Hope you're all well. Happening. Get inside. Get inside. Let's go. Let's go. Big up, Mr. Bob. What's happening, Mr. Bob? What's good, Eric C? Hope you're well, Eric C. What's happening? What's cracker-lacking? What's good, NJ? Well, go on, NJ. What's good, NJ? Hope you're well. Hope you're all well. Hope you're all good. Hope you're all good. So, I've got some non-related random show news to share. Non-related random news to share. Non-related. You know what's interesting? I had somebody leave me a comment that was very interesting. I'm not sure if I should believe it, but there could be some truth to it because of how fucking pretentious this place is, right? But allegedly, hear this out. People, hear this out. Allegedly, I might be on a blacklist. I might be on a... I might be on a blacklist. I might be on a blacklist for Berghain. Allegedly, I'm on some sort of blacklist because I'm a content creator that talks about it online and they don't like that. Allegedly, I'm on some sort of blacklist and next time I go, they won't let me in. Allegedly, that's what I've been told. I'm not sure if it's true, but if it is true, it's so funny. It's actually funny. I'm actually looking forward to going now. I'm looking forward to going just so I can see if this is true. I'm looking forward to going just so I can see if it's true. Honestly, I can't wait to go just so I can see if it's fucking true. I can't wait to go and see them say no because of YouTube. Can you imagine how insane that is? Can you imagine? You have a public space, not public, but you have a nightclub open to the public that people aren't allowed to talk about. What? I understand they cover your phone, all that stuff. I buy into it. I'm into the whole thing. I think there is a lack of, what's that thing called? Is it exclusivity? What's that word? There's a word for it where people are like, when you leave people out, what's that word when you're like purposely like, obviously you can be, what's a word for like purposely like leaving people out and stuff? I don't know what the term is. I'm trying to find it. I don't know what exactly it is, but there's a word for it. But whatever the word is for it, I believe in all that stuff. I think not exclusive. No, not exclusive. It's like when you're like it's like when you're like a members club. So I don't know what I'm thinking of. There's a word I'm thinking of. Not even ostracized. Whatever the word is, it doesn't matter. The point I'm trying to make is this, right? I believe in places. I believe in like that thing. I believe sometimes it's almost like the comedy mothership, AIDS, you know. The comedy mothership like has the same sort of thing, right? Where they cover your phone, or where I think they put your phone in a little cubby or something, right? Cool. I think that's important. I think we need to get back to a world where that kind of exclusivity and not everybody can get anything comes back in, because everybody getting into everything sometimes takes away from the quality of the show, invites loads of randoms. It's just not, you know what I mean? I buy into it. I'm one of the people that actually buys into how snobby and pretentious and up its own ass, all that kind of stuff is. Having bouncers, having door pickers, making you queue for ages to get in, then making you wait, you know, like what feels like 10 minutes, what probably is 2 seconds, it feels like 10 minutes. You know, I think all that stuff is actually good for clubs, because the nature of clubs, because they're open late, you attract a lot of freaks and weirdos and psychos. I think that kind of like thing, it kind of helps to cull out some of the weirdos. It's like it's probably the same thing with a comedy club. When they're searching you and they keep scanning your ID through a system, obviously it's a safety thing, but it also is a way for them to kind of like see, is this guy already fucked up? Are they going too crazy? And then in that instance, in that kind of interaction, they can kind of deny you or not. So I buy into that whole thing. I think it kind of adds to it. And I think if you've ever been to a place where it's very hard to get in, when you get in, it usually lives up to your expectation, because everyone's like on their best behavior. So I understand it, but going as far as like controlling people's speech, like what you can and cannot say, is insane. Like that is wild. Like telling, like basically that if this person, what they're saying is true, essentially they are trying to dissuade people from talking about the club. It's like, so you control who gets in, which is fine because it's your club, it's your business, but then you're trying to control what people do after they leave. What? Do you understand how insane that is? Like, I understand. Look, it's your club, it's your bar. If you request ID, if you want someone to put their fucking fingerprint, their eye, whatever, cool, I get in there. But once I leave, I can do and say whatever I want with that experience. Telling me what I should and shouldn't say is wild. So let's see if it's true. I'm really eager to go now. The next time I go, I'm just gonna pick a random weekend. I'm actually gonna go, and I'm really curious to see what happens. So. And I'll be able to see, you know, I'll be able to know. I think I'll get a vibe if I did get turned away because they recognize my face, because, you know, people's face always tells a story. So if they look at me and they're like surprised, then, or like bog-eyed, then I know or if they go back into the room and they kind of look through a paper and my big black face is there with my bandana on, then I'll know it's obviously me. But yeah, come on, man. Come on. Come on, man. Come on. Like, oh, anyway, it's just insane. But yeah. I love how seriously I take clubs, but how unserious I am about it. I think that's a good mix. I think you have to have that balance with everything in life. You have to be really serious and really into what you're into, but you also have to be able to laugh at yourself. Like, I think it's all ridiculous. The fact that I go out to these clubs, you know, at my stage of life still, and I'm fucking queuing up and I'm in the toilets taking bumps and all this sort of it's all nonsense. It's all rubbish, right? I should be doing better things with my time. So I think it's all dumb. But I love how some people take it so seriously. Like it's life or death. Like, bruh, it's not that deep. It's just some random person playing tunes in a nightclub. It's dark. It's good. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I just think in life you just have to take things a bit whatever. But if that's the case and I have been blacklisted, it is what it is. There's other clubs I can go to. It's no fucking shame. I've already experienced it anyway, so I can kind of hold on to those memories. But I'm curious to see if they're going to deny me entry because I spoke about it. And on most of the videos, I think 90% of the videos I speak about Berghain are all positive anyway. I'm always fucking sucking their dicks and begging to play there. And now it's like, nah, you talk about it too much. You're too thirsty. I'm too thirsty. That's what it is. I'm too thirsty for Berghain. They're turning me down. I'm the guy that's always asking the girl out for a date and she's like, you know, leave me alone. Do you know what I mean? I'm that guy. I'm the thirsty dude. Do you know what I mean? Like, unrequited love. I'm outside the window playing my guitar and she's fucking throwing tomatoes at me. Fuck off. I just keep coming back. Oh, mate, honestly, what can you do? Anyway, let's go. Let's go. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm damn bad for Berghain. Always have been, man. Always have been. Always have been. But it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what. But again, I could be getting trolled. You never know. It could not be real. Who knows what it is? Anyway, who gives a fuck? Let's move on. Um, let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. So, there's been some updates regarding the Yuri and Riley situation, right? Here's the update regarding the Yuri and Riley situation. There's been a few updates here to kind of give you guys so you can see Wagwan when it comes to these very toxic individuals, right?
Yeah.
Let's actually get this up in here so you can see it. Bear with me a second as I get up on here. So, number one, this person made this excellent meme about it, which is fucking amazing, right? This meme, break up and move on, stay in a toxic relationship. I think this meme is perfect because it represents, I think, what's that thing called? It's called a battered wife syndrome, right? I think that's what it's called, right? Let me see if I can load it up on here. Is it battered? There we go, battered wife syndrome. Battered wife syndrome, also known as battered person syndrome, can be a product of long-term domestic abuse. Battered woman syndrome is considered a subcategory of post-traumatic stress disorder. Oh, is it? It's a form of PTSD. I had no idea. People living with battered women syndrome may feel helpless. So people are suggesting that Riley has battered wife syndrome. Why do they suggest that? They're suggesting that Riley may have this particular syndrome here, right? BWS, because of this particular clip I'm going to play you, which says Riley is upset about all the DMs she's getting from people concerned about her. She says people need to stop bothering her and Yuri. So you've seen all the clips I've shown you. You've seen Yuri being kind of abusive, just being a cunt. Let's not even use like hot words to make him look super guilty. Just being a bit of a cunt. You see all those clips of him being a cunt. You see them arguing all the time when I play some clips on here. Recently she kind of broke up with him, allegedly went to get a hotel, which I think is their threat. I think they do it all the time. You know, every couple has their like threat, their thing they say. I think the thing that they say to threaten each other, like it's serious. I'm gonna get a hotel. So allegedly she went to go get a hotel. She came back, of course. I think the whole packing thing was a sign as well. Oh, I'm angry. So she was packing like she was going to a hotel room, but obviously she stayed. And they're back together again. So you've seen all the evidence. There's recent clip again of her in the car and she's crying because you know, Yuri is making her feel bad because she, you know, did something wrong. I think she nearly ran over somebody, so that's why she pulls this face that everybody's kind of laughing at, right? This face that she makes here. So you've seen a lot of evidence to show that, you know, Yuri is maybe a little bit abusive, maybe not the best boyfriend, whatever. And everybody's, I think, is right to be concerned for her. But listen to Riley and how she's processing this. It's fucking insane, but it's really interesting because, again, proof to me, like I've always said, that these people are horrible, but also perfect for each other. Really perfect for each other, in my personal opinion. So don't be out there trying to white knight for her or trying to paint him out to be a monster. They're both equally as bad as each other. People are just giving Riley less of a bad time because she's hot. Allegedly, to some people, right? They deem her to be hot. But I think if you put that to one side and you put your, you know, your first glasses to one side, you forget about the and all that malarkey and just look at it for what it is. They're both as bad as each other. They're not, no one's worse than the other. They're both as bad as each other. That's my opinion anyway. Let me play the clip.
Taking the time.
Like, at least come through the stream and like you can actually see what happened. You know that shit got resolved in 2 minutes. Like, I hate that it's out of context shit.
And it's like, bro, like, yeah, you have to have nothing going on in your life to like go to the DMs, be like, oh my god, you should do this, you should do that, this is a terrible, who are you to tell me this? Yeah, who are you? You're no one to tell me this.
That's like the number one thing I cannot stand. It's like, stop bothering us.
Imagine them saying, stop bothering us. Imagine. Stop bothering us. No, bitches, you're bothering us with your fucking domestic disputes every other day. That kind of stuff, to put it online, not to be that guy, not to sound bitch made, but it's kind of traumatic for some people to constantly be seeing people arguing and fighting and stuff online. It's not really comforting. It's not nice. It doesn't make you feel good. You're not going to watch it. I'm a bit of a psycho. I'm watching this stuff for pure entertainment. I could give two fucks about these two people. If they both fell off a hotel balcony somewhere, I wouldn't bat an eyelid. Yeah, I wouldn't actually care. If Yuri got run over by an electric scooter and he flipping hit his head on the curb and he happened to be in a coma for 17 hours and then passed away, I wouldn't care. So I don't really care about these people one bit. But I know there are some people out there who probably, when they see stuff like this, it does give them a form of PTSD, as this battered wife syndrome stuff does. It probably does remind them of maybe a family member, maybe a friend who went through a similar situation. So it can be quite traumatic for people to see somebody get what they deem to be abused online and convince themselves they're not getting abused or being in a shitty situation, and then try and gaslight the public who haven't asked to be subjected to this. They're the ones that just keep seeing these guys arguing. It's like, why don't you guys stop arguing and stop acting like children and maybe grow up a little bit, or realize, you know, what you have with each other, which is great, or break up and move on. But allow gaslighting people who have actual concerns for you and are just trying to help you out, who are trying to be good people, trying to be good Samaritans. Now you're trying to make them feel bad because they DM'd you and said, hey, be mindful of this because it's a sign for them, like maybe, you know, because some people don't see it until it's too late. Maybe the stuff that's happened, because again, I don't buy it. That this is going to end in tragedy. I know some people do. I think I Am Sin actually left a comment on one of my clips about that, about how she's worried it might end up bad. I don't think it's going to get that bad. I don't think Yuri has it in him to do anything really physical, really fatal in that regard. He's a bit of a pussy. I don't think he actually has it in him. But if it did, there's nothing you can do to stop it, unfortunately. I don't know about you guys, but every friend that I've had who's been in a bad relationship, there's no way you can convince them they're in a bad relationship. They have to go through it, and you just have to pick up the pieces as a friend or as a family member. There's nothing you can do. You can't prevent them from going through the heartache. You can't prevent them from getting abused. You can't prevent them from getting hurt. You can't prevent anything. You just have to be there to pick up the pieces, or be a shoulder to cry on, or whatever. You can't do anything else. You just have to go through it. And it's really sad because sometimes, you know, the end result is fatal sometimes. But it's the nature of the beast. I can't remember one time where it's like trying to convince somebody that's fat to go on a diet. It doesn't work. Yes, you can fat shame somebody, but it's only until they decide. As an ex-recovering quote-unquote fatty myself, I know it's only until you decide you want to make a change, that's when it changes. Yes, people can take the piss out of you, call you a lard ass, whatever, make the dee 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 sound like you're reversing every time you walk into a room, right? Everyone can do whatever they want to do, but until you decide to put down the croissant, nothing changes. Same thing goes for a bad relationship. Until you decide to leave, nothing changes. So everybody writing them fucking essays and shit, you're wasting your I know it's coming from a good place. You're wasting your time, and even if you weren't, look at how they're spitting in your face. You're actually concerned in a genuine way. Look at how they're spitting in your face. They're telling you, leave us alone, mind your business. One more time.
Taking the time.
The whole thing. Like, at least come through the stream and like you can actually see what happened. You know that shit got resolved in 2 minutes. Like, I hate that it's out of context shit.
And it's like, bro, like, yeah, you have to have nothing going on in your life to like go to the DMs, be like, oh my god, you should do this, you should do that, this is a terrible. Who are you to tell me this? Yeah, who are you? You're no one to tell me this.
That's like the number one thing I cannot stand.
Hey, yo, big up Austin Casey in the chat. Wagwan. Yeah, I went for the same thing. Exactly. That's perfect example. I went for exactly the same thing when I was in like college or something. And yeah, I legit saw a homie girlfriend out with another guy. When I told him, he got mad at me. It's happened to me, and I lost a friend off that, a really good friend. I lost a friend off the back of that, over getting involved in that kind of scenario. And I learned my lesson. Never again. Never ever again. Because most of the time he knew anyway. He just didn't want to realize it. He didn't want to acknowledge it. He didn't want to be reminded of it. You remind him of it, it almost makes him feel ashamed. It's almost like it's equivalent kinda to lending money to a friend. You lend money to a friend, and it doesn't happen all the time. In some cases, you lend money to a friend, you help them out. Oh my God, thank you so much. When they get paid, they pay you back, and it's like everything's Gucci. Sometimes you lend money to a friend, and they end up despising you. They end up hating you because they were in a position where you had to help them. Even though you don't care, even though you don't give a fuck, and you give them your last fucking shirt off your back, they kind of take it a little bit like, oh, now he's got one up on me. Now he thinks he's better. Like, it's all this nonsense that's going on in their head, internal narrative. So that's why, personally, unless you know the, some friends you have relationships with, I know there's some people that I know, like my friend Bobby, for instance, like, we can be brutally honest to each other. There's no filter and nothing's received badly. If it is received badly, we can pull each other aside and kind of have a chat. But some people you just can't have that conversation with. You have to kind of treat them with kid gloves. You have to walk on eggshells with them. You just have to, because if you don't, it could end up fucking up your relationship with them, which is obviously not fair because you're not fucking involved in this. Why ruin your relationship just because you want to be a good Samaritan? It makes fucking no sense, especially when they end up spitting in your face about it. But hey, what can you do?
It's like, stop bothering us.
Stop bothering us, you know? You're bothering us, bro. Fighting on stream.
I see people in weird relationships. Do you think I'm going to be fucking telling them how my personal
I won't even tell.
opinion?
I won't even tell like my close friends. Like if I think something strange about the relationship, I'm not gonna tell them like, hey,
This is what you need.
Something something strange about a relationship is maybe the guy living off the girl, right? Something strange about a relationship is maybe the guy not wanting to talk on the phone. Something strange about a relationship is maybe the guy always wanting to be by himself. Maybe the little strange things. What you guys are doing isn't a strange thing, it's a concerning thing. You argue every like sorry. Their streams anyway are quite boring. I'm not gonna lie. So the people out there that are clipping the clips of them arguing, you guys, I salute you. I bow to you. You guys are doing us a service, because I've tried to watch some of the live streams and they're incredibly boring. They do nothing. They just, they're on their phones. She's sleeping, he's sleeping. They're in the bathroom. It's just fucking boring. They don't do nothing anyway. So apart from just chilling, the only other thing they seem to do, they're not even affectionate. They're not even that affectionate on camera. Yeah, I'm not expecting them to fuck or anything, but they're not even that affectionate. The only thing they do when they're not chilling and eating is fucking arguing. That's the only thing you see them do on stream. If they're not chilling, sleeping, or eating, they're arguing. That's all they do. So it's not like they like do weird things. No, you guys do concerning things, because the time that you have available, especially at their age, especially at their stage, especially doing what he's doing now, he's got what, like 1,500 something subs, right? $4.99. That's like $7,000 a month you're making. You're doing this thing where you could go around the US and hang out with your girl, and it should be such a lovely romantic adventure. You're driving from state to state with your chick. You're having to stay in different Airbnbs. You're streaming it all. It should be fucking fun. Meeting random people, drinking on camera, getting your subs up. Instead, we're being subjected to some horrible fucking domestic dispute thing every other day. So it's more than just a weird thing. It's a concerning thing, motherfuckers.
you shouldn't do that to your girl. Like, what the? Who am I to? No.
It's your personal
It's like
thing.
so. Like I said, people. DB Bowderbag said.
You're allowed, I think. Have you heard that saying that you shouldn't tell people how to raise their kids? True, but you can have an opinion on it. You shouldn't tell somebody how to raise their kids. I agree, but you can have an opinion on it. And most people's opinion, myself included, is that their relationship fucking stinks, especially on camera. Maybe it's good behind the scenes, but they're fucking awful to each other. He's a shitty boyfriend. She's a shitty girlfriend. They can't seem to get away from each other. Like, even though it's looking bad, they seem to do more bad things than good things together. It's horrendous. If somebody, I hope somebody would put a tally up. Somebody could put like a pie chart together. Outside of the times that they're sleeping and eating or something, what percentage of the time is spent arguing? And I bet you it'd be concerningly high, the amount of interactions they have that are just arguments.
People with no emotion do the most.
For real. It's just insane. Like, wait, as soon as you went to the shower, don't look at the Reddit. It's so bad. I don't look at the Reddit. I don't care.
We haven't looked at the Reddit in so long. For sure, 100% this whole stream. And guess what? We've had an amazing, cool past 22 days of experience.
Can you imagine how much better their relationship would be if they tried to love each other instead of trying to communicate their love through the camera? Instead of trying to convince the world that they're in the best relationship ever, could you imagine if they just focused on like loving each other? Could you imagine if they just focus on like taking care of each other, on lifting each other up, on being there for each other? Like imagine, and the camera's there, but you don't try to communicate through it. It's so fucking weird.
Experiences, good times, and all types of shit.
Yeah, like it's a website. Like it's a literal anonymous website. Am I gonna lose sleep over that? No.
And also, it's like tied to a fucking pedo company.
You know what's funny about this whole thing? You would have thought Yuri learned his lesson after the whole viral video of him freaking out because he saw a video of his girlfriend from when she was fucking high school that he didn't know about with some obvious gay guy and one of her friends. You would have thought that would have been the time where he's like, you know what, I woke up. And you also would have thought Riley would have been embarrassed for all her family, for her friends, for everybody back home, wherever she's from, to have seen how her boyfriend reacted to her and obviously their argument on screen. You would have thought that would have been the inflection point. But that just shows you how toxic they are. Even that embarrassing super viral moment hasn't stopped the abuse, hasn't stopped the arguments, hasn't stopped the fucking friction, the whatever, the nonsense we see on camera, hasn't stopped it at all. It's just the same. It just died down, but then it just carried on. Fucking, what's his name? Moist Critical made a video about them. I think it's probably got over 1 million views now. Charlie spoke about it, one of the biggest YouTubers and one of the people that everyone kind of goes to for those type of like commentary reaction type videos. He spoke about them, spoke about Yuri, completely rinsed Yuri. You'd think he'd kind of be like, okay, cool. Nah, he's still a cunt.
Full of like weirdness and fucking over their employees, fucking over their friends. It's just like it's tied to like a bunch of negative, dark shit, and the fact that people still fuck with it is crazy. It's baffling to me.
Really, dude?
Anyway, so Yuri and Riley are still going strong. Riley's saying don't DM her, leave her alone. If she wants to be in a toxic relationship, let her be in one. And I think the public should acquiesce. I think the public should acquiesce. She said, leave me the fuck alone. She says, leave me the fuck alone. So, leave her alone. Leave her alone. If they want to be like that, if they want to treat people like that are generally concerned for them and tell them to go fuck themselves, then I say leave them alone and let it play out how it plays out. That's what I say. Let it play out how it plays out. And if it ends in tears, if it ends in RIPs, if it ends in airbrush t-shirts, if it ends in GoFundMes, it is what it is. I have absolutely zero sympathy. Absolutely none. Anyway, continuing on from that one. Yuri also decided to have a beef now with Lush and No Jumper. Now Yuri is finally beefing with a man and not just beefing with his girl all the time. He's decided to pluck up some courage and send some disses towards No Jumper and Lush, the recently rehired Lush. So here's Yuri going at them.
They make good into no, they don't actually. Shit's terrible. They're like grasping at straws for who even is left that's willing to go to that platform. There's not a lot of people. A lot of people are like not fucking with it no more.
It's crazy that after that 10 Talks, Lush is now their new No Jumper host.
Oh yeah. Let's see how Adam fucks over Lush this time. 100%
I knew it
gonna happen.
as soon as we did that phone call with him.
Yeah, you could tell Adam
Adam
manipulated Lush already. You could tell. That's fucked up, bro.
It is what it is. I knew as soon. I was like, bro, at this point, just fucking hang up.
I would expect Lush to be more intelligent.
He is,
Unfortunately, no.
More intelligent than you fucking
Flush.
donut. He's calling him Flush now. Okay, cool. Nice. Oh. Would love to smash that glass over his head. No, but just another one, right? The Lush thing, I kind of agree with them a little bit. It is a bit pathetic that Lush went back to No Jumper, especially considering the stuff that Adam 22 said about him. But Lush is also somebody that needs a job. He can't do the content thing on his own. He kind of needs to be in a team, in an organization, on a platform already done. And let's be fair too, he's also a good fit for No Jumper. He's a bit of a mess, but he knows his shit when it comes about hip hop. He's good with the banter. He can play the role of like a host on the show really well. He's not going to get too big for his britches and think He's going to create a new media empire. He fits their platform really well. I'm not going to lie. So as much as it's a bit lame that he's back there, considering the back and forth with him and Adam, I get it. I understand why. And if he's grown up enough to put that static to one side and get back there, what's the big deal? It's not a big deal. Whatever. Let him move on. But the fact that Yuri's coming at him and calling him unintelligent is hilarious. Like, imagine Yuri of all people calling you unintelligent. That's one of the greatest insults you could ever achieve. So Lush also heard that, and Lush replied. Lush also clapped back. So now we have a beef brewing between Yuri and Lush now. So I'm eager to see Wagwan, because, you know, you couldn't get a funnier beef if you tried. But this is Lush replying back to Yuri on the No Jumper show.
Talk about the Russian freak too.
Many things. If you want, yeah.
I don't care. It's a matter of, like, we can.
It's just funny seeing him try to get that narrative off.
Yeah, because like that's all right. I mean, we could definitely address it.
So obviously Lush understands while Guam, they're gonna go back and forth. It's gonna end up being a bit of a beef, another new narrative. It seems like these guys in general. I'm gonna be honest and say this: like, I don't really like drama, like, between podcasters. I think it's lame, but I can't lie, I'm kind of gripped by this shit. These guys don't really talk about anything, and most of the stuff that people know them for is beefing amongst each other. Like the old hosts, AD, T-Rail, Mac, not Mac Waplam, Duna, all those guys, and these guys now. It's just it's like a reality TV show a little bit. It's quite entertaining. I'm not gonna lie, it's quite. I hate beef, but it's quite entertaining. I'm not gonna lie. There's something about it you can't keep your eyes off. And the LA side of things is an interesting thing. I find the LA guys, the ones who live in LA, the content creators, especially even the gangbangers, they're incredibly messy. They are super messy. Like, surprisingly so. Very, very, very messy. And I think it must be a byproduct of being in LA, or being in Hollywood, or being adjacent to Hollywood, like that kind of always in drama shit. They don't really talk about anything. They don't really have interesting hot takes on cultural topics. It's just internal beef. Squabbling. You didn't do this. You didn't pay me. You didn't book me. You didn't come to my show. You didn't answer my phone call. It's not, they never have really interesting opinions that people care about concerning, like, hip hop or concerning some cultural thing that happened. It's always just like internal beef shit. It's very interesting, man, how it all works out. But hey, what do I know? Case of Moses, 8% of No Jumper is in office beef. Exactly. Big up Angel Ranger, perfect hot take. Nah, I'm not perfect. I'm less than perfect. Look at what I'm wearing, bro. Look at what I'm wearing. He's trying these backdoor other hosts already, part of 822. Z said oversharing, crackhead. I remember that guy. I love Lush because there's some of us who have the benefit of, like, doing drugs and it's not obvious. But Lush has the unfortunate disposition where he looks clearly like he's on stuff. He's unfortunate in that regard. It's unfortunate. Some of us can look at, I think I definitely have a very obvious high face and drunk face. I think Lush just looks like he's slept in the ashtray, like he's done a million lines, maybe some pills. Like, he looks fucked up. Like, you can tell the difference of Lush on stuff and Lush when he was sober, when he was on No Jumper before. That's the unfortunate thing about him. You know, he seems to be okay, but I love the fact that Lush is, like, a perfect example of, like, how hard it must be if you're a parent of a kid, especially a white parent of a white kid that's into hip hop. Because Lush's brother is the CEO of Indeed, and then Lush turned out like this. Imagine your Lush parents. You gave both those kids everything. You took them to you put them in a private school, right? You made their life fucking amazing. And then one person is a CEO of Indeed, and the other person is, you know, pretending to be some, like, hip hop guy. Like, it's like, what? And there's nothing you can do as a parent. There's nothing you can do. What can you do? What can you do? What can you do to prevent one of your sons ending up like this? Yes, Lush's brother, yes. I thought you guys knew. It's part of the law. Lush brother, CEO, Indeed. I thought you guys knew. Let me see if I can get. Is an image of it? Yeah, there we go. That's Lush's brother. Him. This guy here. Oh, is that his name? That's his name. Chris Hyams. Chris Hyams is the Chief Executive Officer and CEO, Board of Directors of Indeed. Chris joined Indeed in 2001 as VP of Product, responsible for technology, strategy, and innovation. So Lush's brother is like a legit badass, like a legit businessman, Let's see if we can find him. Chris, what's his name? Chris Hyams, Indeed. Can we? Is that him there? There we go. Indeed CEO, co-founder, The Hub. I think that might be him there, but I don't have a LinkedIn, so I can't actually see his. I don't think I can see his page. I don't have a LinkedIn page. But let me see him. Oh, there I can see him. So a little bit, yeah, there he is. He's got an article on fucking Fortune magazine. He's like, you know what I mean? Like, that's literally Lush's brother. So imagine if you're Lush's parents. You did nothing wrong because you raised one kid to be a fucking killer, a business shark, to the point where he went all the way up. I wish I could see his actual, his actual page, because I want to see what how he got there. Let's see if I can see that. LinkedIn's a bit weird. I can't see it. Annoying. But regardless, he seems to be a badass. He's got an article on fucking Indeed and shit, and Lush is out here, hanging out with Adam 16 and Brick Baby. Being a parent must be one of the hardest jobs in the world. Like, comedians say comedy is the hardest job in the world, but being a parent must be super hard, especially a parent with like means. You put your kids in private school, you give them a trust fund, you move to a nice area, suburb, you do all the things to give your kid a good start in life, and then one of them just ends up hanging out with like, a crip and an alleged PDF. Oh, you can't win. You can't win as a parent. Like, what the fuck more can you do? Anyway, let's move on. We did that. Let's move on. Oh, yeah, let's check this out. 14th baddest man on the planet, courtesy of the Fighter and the Kids sub. 14th baddest man on the planet. Let's see what this motherfucker is talking about. Big up Papa. Big up Papa. Let's see what the 14th baddest man on the planet has to say about this. Let's see.
And he's best friends with Steve, so there's a mutual friend there. So I'm easy to find. You can get my number from Bradley. If there's something going on that I don't know about, you're so upset, I can meet you at Zoo Culture, whichever location you want. We can meet there. We can talk about it. If you're so mad, we can go in the back room and figure it out.
Stop whispering, sweet pea. You give me a hard on.
You sign papers that you're not going to sue or anything like that. We can figure it out.
Ooh, you're odd. Showing off.
No, I don't. But you know what I'm saying? Like that's how this goes.
Never do that, but I know what you're saying.
No, but I'm saying
Shut up, Chin. He's not gonna buy you a MacBook Pro because you're sucking his dick. You have to ask for it. You have to demand it because you work there. Say, hey boss, can you give me a fucking laptop that works so that I can pump out your shitty content under Thick Boy, please? You don't get your MacBooks by sucking him off and saying, but you wouldn't do that, but you wouldn't do that. Come on, man. Fucking hell, Chin. Grow some balls and ask him for the MacBook. Don't just be sucking him off thinking you're going to get it. You don't get MacBooks through sucky. You get MacBooks through asky.
Like, if he's that mad, it's like,
if he wants to
we can figure it out. Yeah, I have no problem with that.
But you would never. I know you would never.
No, I don't want to. He seems like he's small too. So it doesn't, like, I don't come off at a.
So what? You've analyzed his physique. He seems like he's small. He's analyzed Schaubwilldoit's physique. He's done the Brian Callen thing. I've taken him in. I was on the horse and my legs were like, and then I got the woman put on my shoulder. Fucking idiot as well.
As a bully, but remember, he came at me. So it's like, if you're that mad, that's an angle. I'm down.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
Yeah, if he wants to make content.
Yeah, I'm down.
I love
yeah,
this.
if that's
best
saying
Reddit
you
in the
want
world.
to go,
Big up the Fighting Kid Reddit.
doesn't make
It's the
sense.
best Reddit in the
No,
world.
it doesn't make sense at all.
No, none of it. But none of it does.
It don't make
Like
sense.
even coming at me, you know.
Oh, by the way, I remember that don't make sense. I remember that don't make sense. I remember that don't make sense. That sounds very familiar to this. What is it? Let's say Andrew Schultz, Brendan, Annie Liederman. I remember that don't make sense. Where is it? Where he confronts him. Where is it? Where is it? Response to Annie Liederman. Where was it? He got him. What is it? This one? Maybe it's this one. Let's see. Let's see. Maybe it's this. Big up Too Lazy to Try.
Alright, so it looks like there could be another Trug Walk on the horizon. This came out of nowhere, but yesterday Brendan Schaub was over on Instagram chumming it up with Annie Letterman.
Oh man. He said it don't make sense. Remember when he said that? Let's see, Andrew Schultz. Let's do confronts. Oh man. I don't know what it is, but he said I don't make sense in that one. He said the same whatever cadence. Doesn't matter. When I find it, I'll clip it and put it in this later. Doesn't matter. Let's continue.
To defend Dana, it's like, no, we're good, dude. You don't know the context.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he said, but I mean that's kind of messed up that he is going after you.
It happens all the time. Yeah. But again, and it's not a bully thing. It's not a cocky thing.
2,000 years later.
I think why it doesn't bother me, obviously I get a lot of it. It's like I've never, ever.
You know what's funny? If that was me, and I think most of you watching, if a lot of people hated you, there would be a moment where you look at yourself and you think, what is it about me people don't like? There would be one, again, it's up to you what you do with that question. It's up to you how you react to it, what you do after. But I'm sure most of us will be like, why does everybody not like me? There will be a moment where you just stop and like, hold on, why does everybody don't like me? But I love that Brendan never has that switch. Narcissism, of course, but in his head, he's never ever questioned why everyone seems to not like him. Like, especially people that don't know him. It's one thing if you know the guy, but why is it that everybody that only gets to see you through content online comes away thinking that guy's a douchebag? Shouldn't something in your head click? But no.
Check the receipts. I've never had anybody in stand-up, podcasting, the MMA community, whatever community, trucking, car community, nobody that's ever come after me. I've never been worried if you locked me in a room with them how it would go. I've never had a single person on this earth come after me that I couldn't beat up. And that's just fact. This isn't a bully thing. This isn't a cocky thing. So I think that's why it does.
How badly do you think he wanted to just jump over the table or the screen when Bobby and Kalila gave him that dressing down, when he had to answer for his war crimes against women and other comedians on the Tiger Belly that day? How much do you want to bet somewhere inside his soul, inside his psyche, inside his brain, he was thinking, I could just end this all by killing everybody in this room? He probably went to do like, a Chris Benoit without offing himself. I wonder if that passed his brain. It must have, because they were grilling him. They were making fun of him. They were really taking the piss out of him, making him look dumb. He must have sat there for, I could just end this all by just strangling her with one hand, strangling Bobby with the other hand. Because that's the only way his brain works anyway. I could just end this all with violence.
Doesn't bother me because I know Steve. or I know insert comic or insert podcast or insert whoever it is from anything that I do that talk shit about me. I know if we were in the same room, you would not talk to me that way. It's never happened. I've been doing this a long time. It's never happened.
Oh, big up the Fighting the Kids sub. Oh my God. They got the clip of Nate Diaz talking to him the same way he spoke to him in comments. And Brendan didn't do nothing, by the way. I also love how Brendan lied about this. He made it seem like he said some other thing to Rogan and he didn't say the thing he said. But it's like, if it's such a badass, why didn't you give Nate the finger back? Brendan's a good guy though. I'm a good guy. Even to his day, he'll probably say, I love Nate. Nate's my guy. We're friends. Like, no, you're not. Like this whole like, it must be an LA thing as well. I love that guy. Beast of a guy. Beast of a dad. Beast of a friend. Oh, he's great. He's amazing. He's wonderful. Yeah, I think you're a bitch.
I'm easy to get to. I'm around, man. It's never happened. Because social media, it's not real.
You say you're around, but where are you around? You say you're easy to get to, but where is Brendan ever around? He doesn't do comedy. He doesn't even go to comedy clubs for entertainment, just to go and hang out. He doesn't go to watch the shows. He only goes somewhere where someone pays him. Where do you go? Aren't you a beast of a dad? Aren't you always with your kids? Where are you around?
Yeah, we're not, you don't, like Steve or whoever it is, they don't view me as a person. They see the accomplishments or the failures, and it's easy to fire off.
You would never do that in person.
Yeah. So I go, yeah, I'm older too, so I'm like, I get it.
Exactly. Someone said crashing out. Big up David Guerrero. What's
Man,
good,
it's not that I'm
What's good? What's good? Big up David Guerrero. He says crashing out. The funny thing about this crash out, it's so unnecessary. What Dana said, yes, it was quite insulting. It was quite humiliating in some ways to be described as a podcaster when you fought for the MMA, when you fought for the UFC, sorry, you've bled for them, you sweated for them, you put your life on the line for that organization at one point in your life. For them to kind of, take away from your accomplishments, just called you a podcaster is quite insulting. To be reminded of your horrible prediction about UFC 300 is quite embarrassing. I get it. But also, it's not a big deal. He could have just pretended it was okay, laughed at it, poked fun at it, and kept it moving. But instead, he's let this guy, Steve will do it, who he doesn't even know, who's 25 years old, who's clearly trolling and maybe being somewhat serious, to get under his skin to the point where he's threatening to kill everybody. It's like, come on, Brendan, man. It's not that deep, bro. It really isn't. You and Dana allegedly on social look like you're okay. Dana said #respect. I think he was being a little bit, condescending there, but still cool. You should have just said, hey, big up, put an emoji there like a fist bump or something, and kept it moving. Why is he doing this, man? Why is he doing this? But again, like I said, people were kind of laughing at me when I suggested that Brendan might be a bit depressed and stuff and going through stuff. I think this is what's happened. All of that shit that's happened previously, having to quit comedy, the non-selling of tickets, all the drama, I think that's why he's exploding. He's not crashing out because of what Dana said, of what Steve said. I think this is a culmination of all the things that have been happening. His ongoing fucking lawsuit with fucking Unique, the drama with fucking BGL, how people attacked him for firing George, the shitty way he did it. Like, he's probably feeling it, and that's why he's lashing out now. It's not really about Steve will do it. This is like him addressing everybody. But it's like, bruh, you now everybody can see the bad thing about crash outs like this is that it makes it worse because now people can see what gets under your skin, and they'll just keep doing it. That's the issue.
Or anything like that. Black belt in jiu-jitsu, Golden Gloves champ, top 10 UFC at one time. Like, and that's cool. But it's nothing to brag about. Like when you, like whoever it is out there, when you were busy, I don't know, doing cake stands and chugging beer and whatever your thing was in college or whatever it was, I was learning jiu-jitsu.
Learning. By the way, unpopular opinion, I don't agree with the taking the piss out of his fighting career. Big up Keith T, appreciate you, brother.
pretty sure Eddie Bravo kept that same energy when Bisping confronted him.
Exactly. Big up Keith T. I appreciate you, brother. I don't agree with the insulting him or taking the piss out of him about his fighting. I think that's lame. I'm not gonna lie. I think the MMA community in general, when they do that, when they go under, when the fighter loses and they start saying, "Oh, you got knocked out, bitch," and start doing gifs and stuff, I think that's super trashy and super lame. The fact that he got in there in the octagon and fought against people, especially at heavyweight, is commendable. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking crazy that he did that as a career option at one point because he had no other thing to do. It's fucking nuts. He did it for money. It's absolutely insane. And he deserves, you know, a bit of like respect for that. I think taking a piss out of him because he was a shit fighter is dumb, because even if he got knocked out all the time in the UFC, he would still fuck up most people. You know what I mean? He'll still beat up most of the population in his age group. You know what I mean? So it's like, let's relax with the taking the piss out of him because he wasn't elite level at UFC. It's like, you know, that's not a crime. I just don't get why he entered. This is the one thing that I'm still confused by. People in the chat that know more about grappling, I just don't get why he entered. If he was worried about getting choked, he didn't want to get his limbs dislocated or whatever, because at that time he was still in the UFC. If he was so worried about an injury, why did he agree to take part in this? Just say no. There are tons of people that don't take part in grappling tournaments because of that very reason. Because they don't want to risk fucking up their UFC prospects and shit. Why did he agree to do it if he's not going to engage? It makes no sense to me.
For me, it was a success. Shutting him down for 20 minutes was a success for Brendan Schaub.
Wow. It's pretty interesting.
I think that in order to fight...
And I love this clip because it shows you that Brendan was hated from... That's a funny thing about it. It shows you that Brendan had haters from the beginning of his career, because I think his career kind of got started in UFC. No one really knew about him public facing until he got to UFC. His football career wasn't really noteworthy, so no one really knew about that. But you got to see who Brendan was because of that, you know, reality TV show that he did with UFC, and obviously being in UFC. So that was what the first introduction we got of him was that. And going back into the forums or going back in Wayback Machine, you'll see bare posts of people saying, "Oh, that Brendan Schaub guy is a dick." So people already didn't like him from that day. If anything, the Fire and the Kid was the only time, especially in the beginning, where people kind of liked him. And then, of course, he ended up kind of turning that around. But Brendan has been hated ever since he's come into the public consciousness. No, did he? And the fact that he doesn't have a moment of reflection and be like, why does everyone hate me? Is very interesting. Big up Coiler. Because he lied his way and yapped his way into it on accident, trying to be a cool guy. What you mean? You mean the fight in general? Big up David Smith. To be fair, B. Schaub was 10-5 in the UFC. So as a heavyweight, not great, but at least a winning record. And he knocked out 7 men. Most of us will never knock out one. Exactly, David Smith. I don't like the insulting of his fighting. I think it's lame. When people keep posting clips of him getting knocked out, that's not a dunk to me. It's more of a dunk when you take the piss out of how he pronounces words, telling horrible jokes, you know, getting the facts wrong. That's more of a dunk because it, you know, especially because he thinks he's the most smartest guy in the world. But the fighting thing is stupid. Most people can't throw a punch in anger, let alone knock anybody out. So, Super Jello said he entered to impress Joseph. Yeah, he probably did, and it didn't work. So, Mr. Bob. My girl does submission only BBJ tournaments, only can win by submission, not points. It's wicked. Okay, Cola. Yeah, he kept talking about jiu-jitsu, and someone was like, if you train with Gracie, pull up, and he had to. Okay. I see. That makes sense, and that lines up with what what you call it, with what Super Jello said. So he basically did do it just to impress, you know, impress Rogan, and also to look like a badass. Because he got challenged and obviously he couldn't back down. Fair enough. What someone said here up above? Who said this about the hormones? Who the fuck said that? Big up Joe from MIA. His hormones are out of whack because of the Ozempic body parts. Ozempic. That's hilarious. Big up Joe.
You
gotta have two guys.
Yo.
He just dabbles in stuff so he can brag about it later. Fought at Metamories, raced in the Mint 400, etc.
Yeah, big up Austin Kid. Yeah, that must be it, innit? And do you know how pathetic that is, by the way? I don't know about you guys, but don't you just get into stuff just for the fun of it? Not even for the brag, just for the fun of it. Sometimes you get into stuff for the anecdotal story, but you don't get into stuff just so you can brag that you're some badass. And do you know how sad of an existence that is? To just get into things to appear like you're a badass. Because that's the thing, what Austin pointed out was great, is that he doesn't do anything because he's actually interested in it. It's always an image thing. That's the really sad thing about this guy. Everything's about image. Nothing's actually a true passion. Nothing's actually oh, I would do this if no one was looking. I would do this if there wasn't social media. I would do this if there wasn't clout to be gained from it. It's all like a signaling thing. Look at me, look at me, look at me. It's like, and again, I think as a man too, maybe I'm different. I was always quite extroverted, obviously. I was always quite confident, obviously. But I've noticed with age, the braggadocious, whatever personality side I had is kind of quelled. You kind of chill out a bit. You kind of mellow out. You know what I mean? Like, I do tons of stuff I don't post online. Like, you know what I mean? Like, before I was like, I'd literally be documenting every little thing that I would be doing and showing off kind of online. And now I barely even acknowledge it online when I do some stuff. I just do it myself. And if I talk about it, I talk about it. But it's just something that I like, enjoy to do myself. It's not like to like, show, you know what I mean? Or sometimes I'll just drop the thing in general. So it's just, the personality trait he has is strange because it's very adolescent. You know, it's a very adolescent thing. It kind of reminds me of like, you know, when you're a kid and your friend gets into karate and they just start and they wear their fucking they're wearing their what do you call it? Their uniform all the time. Whatever it's called, right? They're wearing it all the time and practicing. Like, it kind of reminds me of that. It's like, yeah, when you're a kid, it's fun to do that, to keep reminding people, like, oh my God, he does karate. He can fight. He's a badass. But when you get older, it's like a guy that's like shadow boxing every time. It's like, we get it, bro. You box, we get it. But it's like, you can do that when you're like under 28. When you're above that age, it's a little bit embarrassing, a tiny bit embarrassing. You know, it's like,
guys wanting to fight.
You could have easily done that, been a black belt. Like, that's not, I'm not bragging about that. Just when you decide to focus on this thing, I was focused on this thing. Just so happens that that thing, when it comes to hand-to-hand fighting, I will fuck you up. Unless your name's Francis Ngannou, Gordon Ryan, Tyson Fury, I will fuck you up.
That's an insane thing to say. So he thinks, like the title said, he thinks he's the fourth baddest man on the planet. He thinks only the most elite boxer, only the most elite high-level heavyweight in UFC, well, you know, before he left to go to PFL, and only the most elite grappler in his weight class could beat him up. No one else could beat him up. Only those three guys walking the earth could beat him up. Fury, Francis Ngannou, and Gordon Ryan. You know how delusional you have to be. Big up Mr. Bob. Most of the top 20 heavy fighters in the city boxing currently would piece him up now every day of the week. MMA has advanced so much since his era with feints and stuff. Exactly. I would go as far as saying this. This is a real hot take. I would go as far as saying there's probably a guy in a kickboxing gym. There's probably a guy who works in a fucking chain gym somewhere training mums on pads and shit for self-defense, who does kickboxing on the side while he works a 9 to 5, who could probably give Brendan a good run for his money. There's probably a regular dude who just does martial arts for fun and exercise and for, like, you know, to get his fucking aggression out in a week, who could probably give him a run for his money. Especially because Brendan's not like other people. He's not like GSP. GSP still to this day, even though he's retired, he still trains. He still goes to different gyms to learn things. He's just like a, what's that word called, the term they say? He's a lifelong martial artist, right? Brendan isn't. Brendan doesn't roll. He doesn't, because if he did train, he would post about it. He doesn't roll. He doesn't train. He doesn't hit pads. Nothing. He get fucked up.
I remember when he was early in his UFC career, He would jump from gym to gym. Then whenever any fighter was mentioned, he would say, I used to train with him at XYZ gym. He's my boy.
Exactly. Yeah. I remember that too. He seemed to know every single fighter coming up. I was like, hold on, that's not a good thing. That means you've been to every gym. That means you don't stay in one place. And that means you also gym hop. And that also means that you're just doing this to what? Like, get known, be a face. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit strange. Like, whatever. Big up Keith T.
Baba wants someone to challenge him. He knows he's insulting everyone. He needs money.
That's a good take. Maybe he's doing this to do that box because he kept saying that he wants to do the celebrity boxing. I'm not gonna lie. I'm surprised no one's actually asked him. I know we're talking about his fighting and saying he's not that good, whatever. But as a personality, he's still noteworthy enough where he should be. I'm surprised no one's tried to get him involved in those influencer boxing cards. Maybe because he's a former fighter, it's not fair, right? It's a bit, whatever. But I honestly don't think. Obviously, I'm saying this again as an uninformed, not that well-versed fan of MMA and fighting and whatever. But having watched it quite regularly over the last couple of years, I don't know, he doesn't practice. He doesn't do anything. I don't believe, especially what someone said before about how fast the sport has evolved, how far it's evolved. Nowadays, the guys are really good. Like, if Brendan was to go back into the UFC now, like, what's the current UFC roster of heavyweights? Let's actually look at this. UFC heavyweight. Yeah, let's see the ranking. Maybe it'll just show that, right? Let's just do the rankings. Because I think he'd have a problem with everybody there. So the current rankings right now, let's go from the bottom, 15. Rodrigo Nascimento, Marcus Rogero Lima, Alexander Romanov, Derek Lewis, Jairzinho, Tai Tuivasa, Spivak, Tybura, Jaulitin Almeida, Alexander Volkov, Curtis Blades, Stipe Miocic, Sergey Pavlovich, Cyril Gain, Tom Aspinall, John Jones. Brendan isn't seeing anybody in that top 15. I don't care. He's not seeing anybody. Brendan's not seeing anybody. If Brendan went blow for blow with Derek Lewis, he'd get slept. If you went blow for blow with Jairzinho, who doesn't grapple either, he'd get slept. If you went blow for blow with Tai Tuivasa, he'd get slept. If you went blow for blow with fucking Spivak, he'd get slept. Everybody here sleeps him. Everybody. I swear to God, I haven't seen these two guys fight. I don't know much about Nascimento. I don't know much about Marcos Rogerio Lima. But he gets slept by everybody here. Everybody. So, how are you saying only ones that could beat you are Francis Ngannou? It's like, how? What? What? Come on, bro. Let's be real. What would Cyril Gain do to Brendan? Did you see how easily John Jones dismantled Cyril Gain? And he's fucking amazing. What would Cyril Gain do to fucking Brendan? Could you imagine how he'd get devastated by Cyril? Just popping, in and out, bouncing, leg kicks, calf kicks, T kicks, hooks, punches. He'd get demolished. And let's not even talk about Tom Aspinall. Let's not talk about Tom Aspinall. Because he'd run through him. Like Hamzat when he first came to the UFC. He'd run through him, bro. Let's not even go to John Jones. That's not even fair. But just imagine what Cyril Gain would do to him. Come on, bro. Come on, man. He's delusional, bro. He's delulu, as the kids say. Delulu.
So that's why, like, people are like, oh man, they hate how you deal with them. Like, oh, because I beat them up. Like, at the end of the day, take away every.
I love that line. That was really good. I love that line. The hate, how do you deal with it? I beat them up.
People are like, oh man, they hate how you deal with them. Like, oh, because I beat them up. So that's why, like, people are like, oh man, they hate how you deal with them. Like, oh, because I beat them up. People are like, oh man, they hate how you deal with them. Like, oh, because I beat them up. People are like, oh man, they hate how you deal with them. Like, oh, because I beat them up. People are like, oh man, they hate how you deal with them. Like, oh, because I beat them up. Like at the end of the day, take away everything. Social media, lawsuits, how's he gonna look here, take away camera, all that stuff. At the end of the day, when shit hits the fan and social media is gone and cameras are gone and you're locked in a room with another man, how's it keep the same energy?
Instead of just not cheating on his wife anymore, or instead of being more careful when you do cheat, he just wants to be up Unique, right? Instead of just stopping the behavior that's getting you to the point where you have to sue a small YouTuber, he just wants to kill him, allegedly, right? Can you imagine that mindset? You could stop it all if you just stop with the addies and baddies, and it all goes away. You stop being mush mouth. You stop being mush mouthed when you obviously speak. It goes away. You stop being redacted. It goes away. You stop being so thin skinned. It goes away. You start being entertaining. God forbid, it goes away. Nah, let me kill you instead. I'm not gonna stop my behavior. I'm gonna kill you. I love it. And by the way, I have a strong feeling. This is just my feeling of being an ex-scumbag. I'm a recovering scumbag now. I don't do this anymore. But I know as being an ex-scumbag, I'm more than sure when he's doing those golden hour Patreon episodes and he's always on his phone, he's texting baddies. I'm all but certain of it. As a former scumbag who would only use his phone outside or away from the prying eyes, I know that move when you're just glued to your phone because that's the only time you get to, clock in with your fucking, your links and shit. So that's my theory. Again, I could be wrong. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just a random guy in the middle of fucking nowhere, living in my parents' basement, fingers covered in fucking Cheeto dust. I know fucking nothing, but that's what I think is going on.
And I know how the energy's going to go. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been in rooms with people who hate me. They're the nicest people to me. Maybe someone on your team had or... No. Hold on, I'm just telling you from my perspective. Yeah, and you can too.
Because
she's a good-looking woman. I get it. Look, can I say something controversial here? She's a very good-looking woman. I understand that, right? But I don't think it's worth it to ruin your relationship with your people in comedy and to potentially get embarrassed in public to go for it. She's not of that kind of level, which is dumb to say because what level would make it make sense? It doesn't make sense. But regardless, it's like, also you live in LA. How many really attractive women are in LA? Probably quite a lot, innit? And I'd imagine, even if you're a comedian, I know comedy fans are a little bit psycho, like me included. And I'm sure the comedy lot lizards or the comedy or the what they call them, I think MN said, chuckle fuckers, right? I'm sure this chuckle fuckers is a bit of a random toss up, right? You can get ones that look like gargoyles, you can get ones that look like Susan Boyle, and you can get ones that look like Margot Robbie. I'm sure that's the difference, right? It's either end of the scale. But there must be willing adults consenting who would willingly suck your dick in a car park somewhere at a comedy club, who aren't the girlfriend of a very prominent comedian. Why not go for them? If you're gonna cheat and if you're gonna do all that sort of stuff, just do the easy thing. Get the bartender around the back of the fucking building and let her give you a handy or something. Why would you make a move on somebody like this? And if you watch Tiger Belly as well, and you check out the show, she would never go for someone like a Brendan anyway. Like, I think he misread the signs. I think I've always thought, my theory is this, I've always thought that someone told Brendan about how freaky Kalila is. And I think he did that guy thing where he just assumed because she's freaky with other people, it somehow was an invitation for him to ask, or for him to throw out a fucking offer. So I think he got excited when he heard, oh, she likes hooking up with loads of dudes. She likes threesomes, whatever. I don't know, whatever. He heard something. He got happy, right? His dick got hard and he thought, yeah, let me go. And he started firing off DMs. It's like, bro, just because she gets freaky with other people doesn't mean she wants to get freaky with you. He completely missed. Like, I honestly don't think Kalila even liked him as a person before he tried to holler. I think she didn't even rate him as a person. She probably didn't like him. Like, yeah, I'm good on him. I have a feeling. So imagine what she must have felt like when she got the DM. Like, ew. So I look in the phone like, what? Meet you where? Walk you to a truck, huh?
Hold on, I'm just telling you from my
Okay,
perspective.
okay.
Yeah, and you can too.
Because
You
my
can
team
too.
is here, and
And that's fine.
this
is everybody in
This is my family.
Yeah.
So if you're coming to me,
Yeah, Austin, I get she's a freak. I understand she's a freak. She's a good-looking woman. But unless somebody shows interest in me, I'm not going to jump out the window and think because somebody's a freak that gives me an invitation to get freaky with them. It doesn't work like that. And again, maybe I'm also underestimating how little game these guys have. So maybe I'm saying, oh, they should be fucking waitresses, they should be fucking chuckle fuckers and groupies. Maybe they have such shit game, they can't even get groupies and waitresses over the line. Maybe that's the case. But the only people they talk to are the wives and girlfriends of other comedians because they're on podcasts and stuff. Maybe that's what the case is. Maybe their game is so shit, they have to rely on talking to like spouses because they speak to them because they know that, you know what I mean? But it's just weird. I just don't know why it was such a dumb move. That's it. Just dumb.
saying you're not responsible, but your team is. You're coming for my family. I've been with these guys for 8 years.
I'm with you.
What was said was that there was a guy. He was unfunny. I came back with, oh, that's a big clue. And
that's a big clue. Look at his face. Look at his face. Oh, man. I give him credit for going on the pod, but what a bad move, man. Just getting a dressing down in front of everybody like this. Just...
that's something about a peach emoji. And then...
But my thing with that, Clyde, do you think that's nice?
Hang on 1 second, Brendan. Let me ask you this. If we're having this discussion about something that happened in the past and we're having a giggly little girl talk, where is the crime in that?
There's no crime. You can do whatever you want.
Right.
I have no issue with that. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, no issue with it.
You know what's really interesting in this interaction? He doesn't apologize. So she's being kind of vague. Hey, something about a peach emoji. So he sent her a peach emoji, which is, you know, fucking code for let me slap those cheeks, right? Let me get in that ass, figuratively and literally. But he didn't at once say like, oh, my bad, man. By the way, can I just, before you continue, my bad for that. Apologies. I didn't mean, you know, or you didn't mean to, but, you know, I'm sorry for sending it. He doesn't even say that. He just says, you can do what you want. No, huh? And Bobby's just sitting there like a little cuck he is, kind of probably getting hard off of the thought of Brendan fucking her anyway. Do you know what I mean? He's annoyed, but he's also weirdly turned on. I love Bobby, but he's probably a bit conflicted. He probably wants to see it, but he's also angry at the same time.
I said, this particular someone thinks he has dirt on me. And I said, go ahead. Expose me. And I wasn't very nice. And he calls this someone unfunny. And I said, and I called that person a little bitch. I never said your name. You said, that can't be true. I said, roll the tapes, listen, go back, open your ears and hear it for yourself. From my end, it looked foolish for you to be...
Why do you think it's a good idea he didn't apologize, David Smith? I'm curious to know. David Smith, why do you think it's a good idea he didn't apologize?
This fragile over something some 3 girls said on a podcast. It looked foolish.
Exactly.
He calls me.
Good point.
He's clearly upset.
Yeah, right.
Oh, dude, that thing you did was so dope. They don't realize I know what they've said about me, how they feel about me. And what do? Kill them with kindness. I would never. Would never. Would never. And these are just facts. These are just facts. Now, we can live in a world where these YouTubers and the guys like Steve, his buddies around him are going, oh, dude, you should fight him. Oh, dude, I don't know, dude. He got knocked out by Nogueira that time. There's that world that lives on social media.
No, for sure. Dexter, that's the thing. There's a whole community. Big up Dexter. She changed her story a little bit. I think she sort of changed the timeline of her story to respect Papa's relationship. During Trash Tuesday, they said it was with his family. That's the thing. There's a community of people online. I remember when it happened. I discovered a sub. I don't know if the sub still exists. There was a subreddit where they just trashed Kalila. I think maybe it was a Tiger Belly Snark sub. I don't know what the sub was, but the sub basically had a ton of people on there who were convinced that Kalila was a bad person. She was the one that was bringing Tiger Belly down. She was a negative for Bobby Lee, holding him back, blah, blah, blah. And there was a theory on there that she kind of was not lying, but there was a theory there on that subreddit that she did Brendan dirty. And I never understood that because I thought to myself, reading between the lines, I thought she kind of did him a favor, because it was clear from when she first said it on Trash Tuesday that it was pretty bad. It looked bad on Brendan because it seemed like, I think she said like, oh, it was around Christmas. So he was clearly with his family. Maybe he posted a video, a story or something with his kids. And the next thing, he's obviously DMing her. So it was pretty bad because it was obvious what he was trying to get at. He was clearly trying to holler. And she kind of played it down when he came on the pod and just kind of made it seem like it was only a innocent little flirt emoji thing. So I couldn't work out why people were like ragging on Kalila. But I think in general anyway, because I'm not really too plugged into the Tiger Belly scene and community of people, I think just in general, the Tiger Belly people don't really like Kalila anyway. They never have. They find her annoying. The crying thing during BLM, I think she got a lot of hate for and stuff. But take all that stuff aside, in isolation, she did nothing wrong. I've always said, as a guy, whenever you engage somebody in a conversation, whenever you engage somebody in a flirtation, whatever it is, they can do what they want with that conversation or that exchange. You've involved them in it. They can say what they want. They can talk about it. They can tweet about it. They can make a video, whatever. They can do what they want. So that's why you have to watch who you talk to. But in that particular instance, if Brendan would have just ignored it, if he would have ignored it, it would have went away. But he didn't ignore it. Why? Because he was guilty and he felt bad, kind of, being caught out. But I personally think if Brendan would have never addressed it, like, and just let those girls say what they said as girl talk, it would have been deaded. The moment he reacted to it and the whole fucking 600 pages, it went fucking over. It was over. It was over. It was over already. Because obviously that impacted him and people picked a side, comedy people. Most of them chose Bobby over him. And since then, he had to quit comedy basically off the back of that because, he was kind of isolated on his own, didn't really have that community around him anymore. Rogan leaves to go to Austin. It was all fucking, it was snowballed into a big issue. But what can you do? I guess when you're guilty, you're guilty.
In YouTube, that's not real. That is not, you cannot fight. I promise you cannot fight. Maybe you can amongst your boys and the YouTubers. Cool. That's not real, Bubba. This will not end well for you.
And you know what's funny too about this as well, the Kalila thing, right? I remember there was a clip where Kalila's sister said that she found Brian Callen creepy. Do you remember that? So I'm surprised Brendan didn't realize that. That whole family aren't fans of you. Kalila, let's see. If I can find it. Kalila sister Brian Callen. There we go. See? There we go. Look at this. There's two clips here. Let's go for both. Let's do both of these clips. Big up Cambodian River Pig. Big up Cambodian River Pig. Big up Cambodian River Pig.
Brian, honestly, I really, truly love you. You're a handsome guy. You're so talented.
Thank you.
And, you're the first guest I've ever had in this new studio.
You're
this is the first day we've done it. Yeah, so
Your sister found me to be a least favorite guest. Somebody...
Well, who did?
She's
upstairs.
Brian Callen was my
She's up
least
there.
favorite. I was like,
Should we bring her down?
I was like, yeah, bring her down.
No, you don't bring her down.
What the fuck?
It's so funny today because she. I was.
Kalila said, "Don't bring her down because she actually doesn't like you. Like, probably don't do that."
Brian Callen's our guest today. She's like, you know what? I still get emails from his army.
So silly.
About how angry they are and that I expressed an opinion.
Why did she?
It's
like arrogant, or what was it? Or do I just rub her?
Oh, look at the rink. Look at the lids. The surgery probably helped. He was very droopy, innit? Look at the fucking lids, even back then. Look at the fucking lids, bro. They're literally about to cover his eyes. He probably did need that surgery, innit? Fucking hell. Look at that. Oh, droopy droop.
Arrogant, or what was it? Or do I just rub her the wrong way?
I don't know. She's a lead nurse in a jail. I think she reads people really well. I don't know what she.
Oh my God, I didn't know about that. That is damning. That's why look at Brand's face. So she's very good at reading people. She works in the fucking prison. She's very, very good at reading people. She's seen the worst of humanity. She treats them. No matter what their crimes, she has to treat them like a regular person. No matter if they diddled somebody, robbed somebody, killed a fucking old person, she has to treat them all. So she gets very good at reading people. And she immediately got the ick from Brian Callen.
Read about you, but you must have not.
I'm a criminal.
No. No. She's attracted to you.
Hey, that's absolutely not true.
That's what it is.
Kalila's making it worse, by the way. Kalila's making it really worse. She's making it, because that's her sister. No, you have no idea. The scream, that's Kalila. That's too much.
She's attracted to you.
Hey, that's absolutely not true.
That's what it is.
I
think that's the
Give a round of applause to Brian Callen. She's attracted to you. You know that's true. Yeah. She's in love with you, dude.
She's in love with you.
Guys, make sure you go to TFATK. So
Anyway, so that's it. And then hear this other clip.
No. So those are your
4 years ago, Kalila's older sister predicted that Brian Callen was a problem. This was uploaded 1 year. Big up Cambodian River Pig. Let's see this. So I'm only playing this to say Kalila's family never liked TFATK crew. So why Brendan thought Kalila would like him is insane. Kalila's sister thought Brian was a creep. More than likely, Kalila probably thought Brendan was a creep. But Brendan, he saw her tits on Instagram and got too excited and fucking sent the peach emojis.
Who is your least favorite guest?
Oh, we don't put her on the spot.
No, come on.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I mean, if we were gonna go there, Brian Callen was my least favorite.
Wow, that was heavy and real. Bri.
No, I mean he's funny.
He's great.
I did a
yeah.
few hardy har-hars with it.
Yeah,
It was funny, but but
you know what? Like they.
Why? Let her explain.
Go ahead.
I thought you were a narcissist, but he takes it to a different level, and
Wow. Her sister goes out with Bobby Lee. She recognizes that Bobby Lee is a narcissist and a bit of a problem. But he's worse than Bobby Lee. And he gives her the creeps. And she met him one time.
and I
shots fired.
And I'm just a little protective of my sister. So the way he talked about her, like, oh, you know what, you've got a good one here, as if like she wasn't gonna be that otherwise. Like,
Yeah.
But
Say
that's
the
how
word, the big N word, the big M word.
It's kind of misogyny-ist, you know. It's so
very funny guy, though.
Very funny. Oh, don't get me wrong, it was a really fun podcast. I just that was my least favorite out of everyone, really.
But sometimes people talk that way, you know.
Wow. She must have been like, when she saw that story about Brian being accused of rape, she must have been like, she must have been the Leonardo DiCaprio meme. When she, DiCaprio meme. When she saw that Brian Callen got accused of rape, right? She must have been like this when she saw it. That must have been her initial reaction when she saw that fucking Los Angeles Times article. She must have been like, I know. That was her reaction, Kalila's sister.
Like my friend Dove. He's not a star.
Okay.
He's a star. Dove Davidoff.
Okay.
When I was dating Sarah Hyland a long time ago, I go, this is my girlfriend, Sarah, and he goes, what's up, woman? He kept calling her woman.
I hate that.
And I go, that's East Coast. That's East Coast.
No, it's not East Coast. It's ignorant.
But are you not a woman?
Yeah, but the tone behind it.
How about that? Hey, woman.
Yeah,
Is that
there you
better?
go. See?
Well, what are you looking at, man? Renzo, are you gonna arrest me? I didn't commit any fucking laws, bro. You know what? When you walk into a room, dude, as a civilian, you're a fucking civilian. All right, you're not a fucking cop in this room. With your, I like your energy right now. Like you're gonna arrest everyone in the room. You can't. We did not.
Big up Kalila's sister. Big up fucking Kalila's sister. Big up Kalila's fucking sister.
In any facet, this is the real world. You will get severely fucked up, and that's why I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
Whoever it is, unless your name's Francis.
Yeah, exactly, Darsky the Flow. Yeah, I can see Brian definitely liking the bit that she said he's really funny. She said that a lot of times. He's really funny, really funny. Great podcast, fun podcast. So Brian's like, win.
Gordon Ryan or Tyson Fury, I'm okay. So that's how I deal. People ask me all the time, how do you deal with it? Oh, I'm good because I know it's not real. 'Cause if we're at a dinner party or
Big up.
Keep it pushing.
Big up Adizi, I appreciate you. Big up Uche too. The chat wants to give Kalala's sister their Badusi. Oh, what I didn't see. Do you guys like the look of Kalala's sister, yeah? Everyone's fond of Kalala's sister. She kind of looks like a skinny Tulsi Gabbard, isn't it? A little bit. Or Gabbard, how do you fucking pronounce her name? She's like a skinny Tulsi Gabbard, isn't it? A little bit.
or at another party or even
Isn't Tulsi Hawaiian too? Isn't that what? No, Kalala's not Hawaiian, is she? Kawhi's Filipino, right? Kalala. Are they Filipino, innit? Is Tulsi Filipino or is she Hawaiian?
see event, whatever it is. Everyone's friendly to me. It's never happened.
Yeah.
Now, you might have this false sense of reality where your buddies are in your ear and, oh, dude, I don't know, dude. He blew his hamstrings out just running that time or whatever they tell you.
Big up KP. What's good, KP? Oh, Tulsi's Hawaiian. Okay, cool. Tulsi's Hawaiian.
Oh, dude, remember that one time we're at Florida State and you knocked out that kid? Dude, if you land that on Schaub, that's not real. I will snap your neck whenever I want if it came down to it. That's
Christ,
real.
Brandon, that's
One eternity later.
And that's what I'm trained to do. And no, I'm not out of shape. No. I'm at my fighting weight. I run 3 miles every morning, bud. 4 a.m. I will fuck you up.
Thank you.
I know this might come off as like you seem like you want to mess him up, but I'm
saying I don't. I'm saying no. Take Steve out of that's.
Yeah.
Me and him, I'm cool with him. I like the guy.
Me and Case have known you forever. I've known you for so long. You don't want to fight people. You don't. You don't want to hurt anyone. No. It's just like if people keep coming at you and they keep talking smack and they meet you in person and they really want to do something, don't do it, dude. You're gonna get.
Every time Chin cooks, that's what I say. Every time fucking Chin cooks.
Don't do it, dude.
Every time Chin tries to catch fish.
When they meet you in person and they really want to do something, don't do it, dude. And they
Every
really
time
want to
Chin
do
goes
something,
fishing.
don't do it, dude. And they
Every time
really
Chin's
want to
do
do
barbecue.
something, don't do it, dude. And they
Every
really
time
want
Chin
to do
talks to a
something,
woman.
don't do it, dude.
Every time
and they really
Chin
want to do
murders a
something,
woman.
don't do it, dude. You're gonna get you're gonna mess up.
That's all I'm saying.
And I know you've dealt with this so much for the last few years, so I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
but you're a good dude. You've helped us out so much. Yeah.
No,
I don't want to do it.
It's all good.
I'm just saying at the end of the day, like, they're like, oh man, how come you don't fire back? I'm like, because I'm 40.
You don't have to.
But I'm also 41 with kids, and also I'm not so insecure. Like that stuff does not get to me.
And you know what you could do to
I
these
also live in
people.
the real world, so
Yeah.
it's like there's this noise where that if that goes away, and reality hits, and they were to walk in the studio right now,
which they would never do.
But of course not. That's why I'm good.
Badass.
Let's say for whatever reason they got to feather up their ass, and their boys are like, have a couple of shots, man. That one time you land that shot on that dude from Clemson, you do that on Schaub, that's cool. I will fuck you up.
We know this, man. We know this.
But they don't, though.
No, I think they do.
I don't think they do.
I think they're talking.
I don't think they do.
They're
but they
just
also
talking.
know, like, I don't entertain. Like, again, I'm 41. I'm not going to entertain in a Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook beat.
I know I repeat myself a bit, but this is a 12-minute clip. He did repeat himself. I didn't notice since I thought I was watching it. He repeats this a lot, doesn't he? I didn't notice at first, but he does repeat this quite often. Big up, big up, big up, big up, big up.
He is copying Jamal Hill's I Allow You
Oh
to
yeah,
Live to Ariel.
true. Jamal, yeah, he did. And didn't Brendan have a good thing to say about that when it happened? I remember Brendan being very encouraging about Jamal Hill getting that. Yeah, great observation. Yes, you're right. He definitely is copying a bit of that. But yeah, I didn't notice until I rewatching this clip how much he repeats himself. So he clearly is really wound up. He's very angry. He repeats his threat over and over and over and over. Like he's really pissed.
Beef, it's like, what? For what? I've never entertained it. Would my ratings be higher? Would I be further along in podcasting? Maybe. I just don't like it. It's just not what I do.
6 hours later.
I also don't have a mean bone in my body.
I know, that's the reason why.
Like if I saw Steve.
Have you heard anybody pronounce also like that? Also.
Not what I do.
6 hours later.
And also don't have.
It's almost like he's saying I also. How do you pronounce also like that? No wonder he doesn't try to learn Spanish. He can't even speak English. Also. ¿Qué?
I also don't have a mean bone in my body.
I know, that's the reason why.
Like if I saw Steve or insert whoever that's talk shit about me,
yeah.
I'd be super cool.
Yeah.
I would be cool with them. I'd be willing to guarantee they'd be cool with me. And then if they weren't, that's where we go into the real world.
Yeah.
And again, it's not a flex. You could have got your black belt. You could have
Yo, big up Wolfgang Rittner. I hope you're well, my friend. Big up Wolfgang Rittner. What's good?
Could have won Golden Gloves. You maybe could have been a top 10 heavyweight in the world. Maybe if you dedicated your time to it like I did. That's not a flex. That's just what I decided to do. You probably could have done that. You probably could have figured it out. I don't know. But the facts are I did. I have this set of skills that I still work on.
You don't work on them.
I do have.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career.
And the set of skills is not for.
This nigga's always living in he's always living in fucking Blockbuster, and he is Blockbuster. He's always got fucking, he's that guy, we all know that friend that's always fucking quoting lines in fucking bait movies all the time, like fucking hell. The kind of guy that watches fucking Matrix every other week. It's like, enough, man, enough. You're not fucking Neo, you dork.
Twitter. It's not for Instagram. It's not for Facebook. Those set of skills are for when I'm with my kids and I'm at a car show.
Something happens.
And you pop off. Yep. And then those skills, while you were busy chugging beer or whatever you're doing or shooting YouTube videos, those are your skills. These skills are going to fuck you up.
Oof. Oh, no. Dude, can I ask you a question? How was your week?
That's all I'm saying.
I don't know what that
but I don't want to.
I
would never. Have I ever in the entire? You ever seen me be aggressive with anybody?
Dude, I've been with you on tour and then
ever.
Pause. Not to be mean, but Chin has an unfortunate face, isn't it? Like, look at that. Imagine him kissing you. Fucking hell. Like he looks like he's permanently sucking a lemon. Or like a spice went up his nose by accident. Like, he's permanently got that sort of face. He's one ugly bastard, isn't it? No offense, but fucking hell.
Sometimes people get aggressive and you're always like,
never,
chill, yeah.
Never.
It's all good.
I would never.
No, yeah.
Never.
Can't talk.
Okay.
It still amazes me, this clip. This I think this is when I realized. By the way, he's got one of the best Travis Scotts on ever, by the way. The Air Max 270s are a very underrated Travis Scott collaboration, in my personal opinion. I think they're super, super underrated in terms of Travis Scott collaborations with Nike. One of my favorite Air Maxes ever. or collaborations ever, to be fair. And people don't really rate them that highly. I'm not really too sure why, but I love the 270s. So I remember, whenever I think of the 270s, I remember this clip. But I think this also was a time when I realized that there is no comedy community. Because even if what Chris D'Elia went through, even if the allegations against Chris D'Elia were true, that's your friend. The allegations dropped the day before. No, I think maybe on the same day. And you record a podcast, you don't even call him. And you essentially like distance yourself from him and throw him under the bus by saying you don't really hang out. You've never seen anything. You start crying. Like, this is when I realized, oh, these guys are scumbags. Because no one's saying you have to make an excuse for him, but they could have ignored it. They could have never addressed it. They could have just said, hey, we heard what's going on. It's obviously caught us by surprise too. We're just going to deal with it, but we had nothing to say. We're just trying to process everything that's going on. They spent time talking about it. Brian spent time trying to convince people that him and Chris weren't really friends. Brendan was trying to act confused, like he didn't know what was going on. And now looking back, I remember somebody said in the stream chat as well, it's not my original idea, but I remember somebody said in the stream chat too, looking back now, we know the crying wasn't him crying about Chris. It was him crying about himself, worried that he was going to be next in line because he had his own skeletons in his own closet. Or maybe, anticipating, oh shit, this is now the end. Especially because at that time, Chris and Theo were the main cash cows for The Fighter and the Kid. It was Chris, Theo, and Will Sasso. When those guys came on The Fighter and the Kid as guests, it fucking blew up with views. This was back when Schultz was on there, Andrew Santino was on there. By the way, any coincidence that Andrew Santino has never been on Fighter and the Kid since the Bobby Lee thing? Is it any coincidence that Andrew Santino has never been back on The Fighter and the Kid after the Bobby Lee thing? That's when I realized, when this thing happened, I realized, oh shit, these guys aren't really friends at all. No one's saying you have to defend your friend if they're fucking being accused of being a PDF. But getting on camera and denouncing them like this is bullshit behavior. Just pretend like it didn't happen. Don't make a comment and just continuing on. Everyone will understand. But getting on camera and like trying to save yourself because you're worried people might think that you're a PDF. When you were around when he was doing all that shit stuff and you probably partook in it. I think in the court documents, didn't they name Brian or someone, I think, as being a part of it or something? Come on. Horrible friends, man. When you have friends like these, why do you need enemies? When you have friends like these, why do you fucking need enemies? That's what I say. But again, what do I know? Big everybody tuning in. We've got quite a few people here today. Make sure you're smashing the like button down below for me. Do me a little favor. Smash the like button down below if you're enjoying what you say. No, what I say. And if you enjoy me fucking up my words and stuttering there. If you enjoy all that shit, then make sure you smash the like button down below. I really would appreciate that. Moving on. Next clip. We have this one. I miss the drunk era. I'm glad somebody posted this. So big up the person that posted this because I also missed the drunk era. I said before on the stream, I don't think I realized at the time how fucked up Brendan was. But now looking back at these clips, he was drinking. Like, allegedly he records the Schaub show in the morning. Even though he's not a morning person for some reason, he takes his kid to school from what it looks like. He does a school run. And then on the way back home, on the way back from the school, he goes to the studio and records Schaub show. So he tries to, I'm assuming, trying to get everything done before midday to have the rest of the day to do his own shit. So he was getting drunk at like between the hours of like 8 to like 12 in the morning. And if you know anything about, if you're a former fuckhead, especially if those of you in the chat who are sober now, one of the dark parts about being on stuff and being a little bit psycho, the dark era, is when you start going to the shop to buy alcohol early in the morning. Whether you've been up early, whether you've been up all night, whether you wake up in the morning to get it, that's the dark part. When you have to go to shops and buy like a beer or like some wine or a liquor at like 7 in the morning. The cashier looks at you like... like, you know what I mean? There's no one in there. There's no one going to see you, but you look like a fucking problem. The cashier knows you look like a problem, but you got money, you got ID, so they serve you and you keep it moving. So Brendan was lucky. He had his own whiskey. He didn't have to go to a shop. He had his own Tiger Thick whiskey he could drink. But this was again, I forgot how drunk he was, but this clip is a good reminder.
You're getting to look a lot like Christmas. You know what? Most of the time, even with Joe Rogan, 99% of the time, people don't know him. They see a headline.
Look at that glass.
And they want to make assumptions based off a headline, not based off the person.
Heavy pour. Double.
But it goes both ways.
Look at his face.
For anybody else getting to the UFC, Ciryl Gane's not a household name yet. He's not an American.
That's no mixer. That's one big ice cube, but that's easily more than 2 shots. That's a heavy, heavy glass. That's a heavy, heavy pour. Heavy, heavy pour. Exactly, like smash big time, exactly. Exactly, Koila. When you Google the times it's legal to buy, when you start Googling what time your local liquor shops open, when you're waiting outside, that's when you know you're in the fucking doldrums. That's when you know you might have to like chill out a bit, Fuck, bro. Fuck. I forgot how smashed he was. And he had his own whiskey too, by the way. Not just he's buying whiskey, he had his own whiskey brand that he was actively pushing. Which is funny too, because he hardly drank it. That's a funny thing. He clearly didn't enjoy his own whiskey. Because he hardly drank it. He drank other shit.
His English is all right. San Antonio, He Thick Tour. Is this Thursday, Friday, Saturday? Tiger Thick will be available next week. Man, he's fun to watch. Yeah, there's not Adam Tiller is a guy.
Another glass.
He I just wanted the most eyeballs. The most.
Big up.
Big up pause. Always grinding. Much love. Much inspiration. We out here.
Yeah. Big up horror movie hustle. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, you know how it is, man. Like I said, I just have no friends and no social life. That's why I'm here. I mean, if it's a hustle, you guys see it as inspiration, fair enough. But this is more of an illustration of my lack of a social life. This is actually a cry for help. This is a cry for help. This shouldn't be motivation, but I appreciate you anyway.
Most availability for my fans and also new fans that see how hard I've worked at this, this lane that we call stand-up, man. And I've put everything that I can into it. And
exactly, Darsky. Imagine this guy saying you'll fuck everybody up. He spent most of his time drinking, doing fucking Food Truck Diaries. He's washed up, bro. He doesn't roll anymore. He doesn't hit the mitts. He doesn't fucking hit the heavy bag. Like, Rogan probably not even spars, but hits the heavy bag more than Brendan. And Rogan never fought professionally. That's a funny thing about it. Like, if Rogan was a heavyweight, he'd fuck up Brendan probably. Even though he's never fought professionally. That's a funny thing. Rogan's an actual legit black belt, and he actually looks like he can actually strike decently. Brendan was never known for his striking, and the black belt he only got it because he basically asked for it. He didn't earn it.
The original idea was to shoot it exactly the way I want, edit, cut it exactly 30 minutes, and sell it to one of these major networks where you guys are all familiar with, and which I did.
Oh, love it, man. I miss that era, actually. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of miss the drunk era, Brendan. I kind of miss Brendan's drunk era. I kind of miss Brendan's drunk era. Moving on. Last one before you go to the Fire and the Kid. What's this one called? This one's called Scary Time When the Wall Almost Got Breached. Is this a Tucker? This is a Tucker Carlson clip, isn't it? This is a Tucker Carlson clip. Has to be. Look at this one. Let's see this. Comedians are freedom fighters. The comedians, the most important people. They're on the front line of free speech. Let's see what Brent Rogan says here. It's going to be a good one.
That's right. Comedy certainly does now. Like, comedy's never been better.
But it came
an amazing
close.
time.
It came close.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the walls got breached.
Whoa. The Berlin Wall. That's amazing. They put the Berlin Wall there side by side. Big up horror movie.
Lol, right there with you. Need to try your method.
Yeah, exactly. You need to, bro. You need to. Honestly, it's the best thing. It's the best thing. Like, just talking online, just putting out your unsolicited opinions on social media is a good way to clear. It's a good way to cure loneliness. I swear to God. Just putting out your unsolicited opinions, just being a fucking loudmouth, having a lot of opinions, and enjoying the sound of your own voice actually does a lot for your mental, negatively and positively. 100%. But it's not admirable, I don't think. But fuck it, why not? We all do fucked up shit, and you know, if the fucked up shit you're doing is just talking into a camera or just talking online, it's much better than fucking some of these guys fucked up shit. You know what I mean? Touching kids allegedly.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, but a few years, I don't know when it was, but 8 years ago or something, it felt like, oh wow, people can't tell jokes anymore.
We kept doing it.
Well, I noticed.
Yeah.
And
yeah, we kept doing it.
You kept the little
No, people can't tell unfunny jokes. They couldn't ever. Or people need to maybe understand if they say a joke that's offensive, that some people are going to get offended by it, and just keep it moving. These comedians were being bitches. They wanted to say what they wanted to say, but then they got surprised when some people got offended at what they said, and it's like crying about it. It's like you can't be a bastion of free speech, but then also be not willing to accept the consequences of your free speech. Like whether it's people trying to cancel you or say things bad about you or try and deplatform you. That's the nature of wanting to say what the fuck you want to say. All you need to do, like most of these comedians anyway, they're all self-sufficient. They've all got their own podcast. They're all not beholden by corporations, networks, studios. So they can technically say what they want. Most of them have fuck you money anyway. Surely if you've got fuck you money, start saying fuck you. Don't get on pods and complain about cancel culture. Like, and start fucking sounding the alarm. Like, no, it's not that deep. You said something dicey about a certain group of people. They got offended. It usually lasts for like 24, 48 hours anyway, the hate train. Keep it moving. It's not that big of a deal. Shut the fuck up. We don't care.
Ember's alive.
Yeah, well, it was flames. It's just...
There's me flaming hot Cheetos all over your house.
Brilliant. Anyway, that's it. Now we're going to be reacting. By the way, for those of you watching who don't like this sort of stuff, I'm telling you now, maybe come back next time, because we're going to be watching and reacting to the latest episode of The Fighter and the Kid. Episode number 986. Wow, it's only 55 minutes. That's how you know these guys don't enjoy hanging out with each other anymore. It's only 55 minutes long. Yikes. They do not like hanging out with each other. So episode 986, we're going to go through that, react to it, see what they're saying. Let's see if Brendan mentioned Steve will do it again. I'm curious to see what happens. Let's see. Big up everybody watching as well, by the way. Make sure you like the stream.
This is really The Fighter and the Kid. Come on, baby. We are ready, Chan.
It's Monday. It's Upset Monday. We call it Upset Monday. And I'd like to run back. I didn't prepare it, but I'd love to run back the clip of me saying that Ryan Garcia, has a chance because he wobbled. He wobbled both Linares and Lomo. But here's the thing I'm going to say right now. It's still a bad bet to take.
But I almost talked you out. I kind of talked you out.
No, it wasn't a bad. You weren't wrong. You weren't wrong. I'll tell you why you weren't wrong. It was a bad bet. I would never have taken a bet, and here's why. If you look at the first 7 rounds, it was very. It really did look like Haney was winning that fight, and Ryan couldn't.
Yeah,
do
besides the knockdown.
Yeah, he couldn't really.
Haney did really well after getting knocked down. It was like
did he get knocked down? I didn't see the first
size of knockdown. Okay.
Yeah, rounds 2 through 6, Haney controlled like a motherfucker.
So he got caught in the first round.
Left hook back.
Okay, so
dropped.
I didn't see that. I came in round 3. I got the design.
Oh, so you missed it.
I was driving.
Then you looked good, like Haney was doing his thing, but then.
But see, if you get caught in the first round like that and wobbled, that's crazy. But so
it's cool. He was able to collect himself together and then kind of put on.
Unbelievable, but damn. And that's what was amazing is that he was doing the same punch. That jab, lazy jab, boom, long hook. Catch him.
What's crazy is Garcia was able to negate his jab, which nobody can do. He was just countering the jab, so he stopped jabbing. But I think, people are like, oh, anybody who picked against Garcia owes him an apology, and this was the ultimate troll job.
No.
It's not true, because I think, and I said this on the Schaub show, like he said in the post fight that he's dealing with some serious issues. He has a history of mental health, and his team was even going to. You remember they took away his social media and wanted to get him evaluated. Like, there's some real issues going on there.
Yeah.
And he said he drank the entire time, including the week and days before the fight.
Is he
just like you, Papa, just like you?
trolling us?
No. He goes, I'll be honest, I drank every night, and there's videos of him drinking at clubs.
Okay.
And he goes, I was drinking. He goes, I drink to get away from my
weight.
personal issues.
Yeah.
Didn't make weight that was planned. Okay. And we'll talk about that. But all the alcohol, like drinking, like he goes, I do because my life's chaos. I do it to numb, my feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So he's clearly dealing with something.
Papa went through that. Papa knows. That's why he understands. Papa's been through the same thing. He knows. He went through the same thing exactly.
So to say it was a troll job, sure, that's fine. To say it was all planned, that's not true.
Right.
So
he just fought a great fight.
I think they just amplified it. We're like, all right, he's going this direction. Let's lean into it. Hopefully it messes with Haney and, it gets in his head, which it did. It messed with Haney. How Haney, him and his dad are fantastic. How they didn't have a plan for the left hook from Ryan is wild. Like they couldn't figure that out. So that's.
But I haven't seen him do that particular punch, Ryan.
Hearing these guys talk boxing is fucking hilarious. I'm not gonna lie, it's fucking hilarious. Like,
actually, not
the left
seen
hook.
him. I've seen the left hook, but I've seen the left hook as a counter when you come in. What I haven't seen is that he did that. It'd be this sort of lazy jab. Keep it there.
Also, like I said, I've said it plenty of times. I fucking hate the CrossFit wedding ring that Brian has on. The Navy SEALs CrossFit weightlifter, gun guy ring that all those guys wear, the silicone one, because it it doesn't hurt as much as it's like, bro, like you don't lift weights enough to have that. Like, stop it, just stop. Just stop. It's like the guys that walk around in boxing with fucking boxing trainers on, It's like, bro, you're not in a ring. Like, put some regular shoes on. Come on, man. Give over.
There, and then and turn it over like that. And usually that's a hard thing to get power off of a lot of times. But this kid has strength and speed, and it's different. It's special.
And then the other reason why we should, like him missing weight, they said that was designed. I think they had no choice. It gave him the best chance to win.
Right.
But remember, even Ryan in the post-fight goes, I wasn't in shape to go 12 rounds. Like, I couldn't go 12. So that's why Ryan only won a few rounds,
Right.
but the ones that he won, they were 10-8.
Yeah.
So it's like, Ryan really only fought 4 to 5 rounds.
Yeah.
And he goes, I couldn't, because if he was
turtled up, he was like, kind of like
turn his back.
Yeah.
But if Ryan was in shape, he would have finished Haney. Like he should have finished him many of times, but he just didn't have the cardio.
The other thing I saw was
he technically did finish him. The referee saved Haney. What are these guys talking about? He did finish him. Any other ref probably would have ended the fight after maybe the third knockdown, or maybe even the fourth. Maybe the fourth. One of the knockdowns he didn't even count because he thought it was a push. He could have ended him. He did end him. So what? What are you talking about?
That, first of all, he kept landing that same punch.
Exactly. Big up Z. A man cheats and is a pervert when you have that ring. Exactly.
And at one point he knew, I bet you they talked about this too. I don't know, but I bet you they said he might have the reach on Haney, right? And if you watch, at one point he lays a jab and he took that shot from Haney. He took Haney's jab, but then countered with that left hook. So kind of took one, boom, and hit him like that, right? And the other thing I thought was really impressive was he made Haney miss. When Haney would come in and he was against the ropes and he would pivot out.
Nasty.
Dude, that's not easy to do.
No, Ryan's super tough. I think this is a case of we undervalued how good Ryan is because the Gervonta Davis loss, and then all these antics. You're like, oh my God, he's not even sound mind, and he's not training.
Yes.
And then we overvalued.
He said sound mind. I thought he said sound of mind. Remember back in the day, he used to say sound of mind. He said sound. He said it correctly now.
Ryan is because the Gervonta Davis loss, and then all these antics. You're like, oh my God, he's not even sound mind, and he's not.
Oh, he said it good now. Before he used to say sound of mind, mind of sound. He said it well. Well done. He's learning.
Training.
Yes.
and then we overvalued Haney.
But
that's how you get this storm.
But it is true. If you listen, I've listened to boxing aficionados break down the difference. It is true, and what you were saying is it's true technically. When you look at technical boxing, Haney is better. Like in terms of just not making any mistakes.
No,
Ryan
he's not
does
better.
Make mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. Ryan had a lot of kind of things that he needed to patch up, but then Haney, as far as like technical wise, like his technique, he's the best of the best.
Somebody mentioned Eddie Hearn. You guys have all seen the Eddie Hearn clip, right? Somebody mentioned Eddie Hearn. You've all seen the Eddie Hearn clip. I'm sure you have. Let me get my Twitter out quickly. I'm sure you've all seen the Eddie Hearn clip. I'm sure you've all seen it. Let's go on my bookmarks. Hopefully I don't have any porn on there. Let's hope I don't have any porn. Hey, big up Darksky the Flow. What's this? What's this about DSP? Either Planet Jeff let slip. What's this? Did DSP confirm 1 Minute Man is Planet Jeff? What? Really? Let's play this quickly. Hold on. We're getting distracted, but let's play. This is hot off the press. Big up Darsky the Flow. What the fuck?
I don't follow any troll stuff. I just don't. But people tell me about it sometimes, and I guess someone wrote me and was like, people are trying to dox people or whatever, and then they send me information. Oh, here's what was said. It's all wrong. It's just hilarious because you wouldn't know that because who in their right mind would care, right? But like for the record, they've been trying to say that for years and years, the only people who contribute to my streams are Only Iced Coffee and Planet Jeff.
That's true though. Oh my God. Yeah, he said it. So basically, Planet Jeff is OIC because OIC is the only person that donates to fucking DSP. He gives him like $1,000 or something more, isn't it, a month? I don't know. The Darkskin Flow could probably give us more information in the chat. But Planet Jeff, OIC gives fucking DSP a salary every month. Fucking hell.
So they're obsessed with these two people, claiming that every contribution that comes into my stream is either from Only Iced Coffee and Planet Jeff.
He should be concerned though. For somebody that begs online for a living, DSP should be concerned that most of his money that he gets to pay his rent and stuff comes from 2 or 3 people. That's bad. If you're trying to build if you're trying to live off that kind, it's not like a good thing that you rely on free benefactors, right? It's kind of bad, but I don't know why he doesn't see that as a bad thing. Like, why do you have people who have stock accounts and pretend to be other people to make it look like other people are giving money to you when there's only 3 people? That's very odd.
Ladies and gentlemen, Only Iced Coffee comes by once every few months. Like he came back this morning, re-upped their membership and left. And that was it. I haven't seen Planet Jeff in years. Years. But these people are so crazy obsessed in their heads.
Anyway, shut the fuck up. We don't give a fuck. Anyway, by the way, the Eddie Hearn thing. Let's go back to Eddie Hearn. You guys have all seen the Eddie Hearn clip. I'm sure you guys have seen this. Right? Please tell me you guys have seen this clip, right? Fucking legendary
Big
clip.
respect to Ryan Garcia. He was amazing. I thought, well done. Oh, really?
Ryan Garcia's dad.
Fuck you. Hey, my son, you piece of shit. What are you talking about? Fuck you. You know you're a piece of shit. And that's what you get. Really? Now what are you going to say? I'm going to say Luke Campbell and fucking Devin Haney. Fuck you. Now who you got? Who do you got?
Jerron Ennis.
Who?
Jerron Ennis.
How about Pitbull?
You know he's good. Jerron Ennis is good.
They're all good.
Respect. It was a good performance. Well
Sorry.
I know you're emotional.
Man, sorry.
Listen, it's a sport. When you win,
I know,
I give you all the respect in the world.
Okay, give Ryan the respect.
I just told him.
You did?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
This is how we work.
Sorry.
Don't worry. I respect you. I accept your apology.
Thank you.
No problem.
Real men shit, innit? Fuck you, suck my dick. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm sorry. What a great interaction. What an amazing interaction. By the way, as a party boy and with some other former party boys and girls in the chat or current ones, is it me or does Ryan Garcia's dad look wired? The licking of the lips, what do you think? Am I reading too much into it? Does Ryan Garcia's dad look wired or is he just twitchy?
And that's what you get. Now what are you gonna say? I'm gonna say Luke Campbell and fucking Devin Haney. Fuck you. Now who you got? Who do you got?
Jerron Ennis.
Who?
Jerron Ennis.
How about Pitbull?
You know he's good. Jerron Ennis is good.
They're all good.
What do you guys think?
It was a good performance.
It's the licking of the lips all the time. What do you guys think? He looks wired, isn't it? What do you guys think? Oh, look at Ryan's dad is a plug. Big up. Exactly. Everybody say they all on that coke. Exactly. Ryan's dad looks like he's like on it, innit? And you know why I know? 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 Uche will know this too. When you've done stuff in the past and you're not doing stuff, don't you recognize it from afar? And you can tell. Look at Eddie Hearn's face. Eddie Hearn immediately knew when he came up to him. When he saw him up close, he immediately saw what was going on. He clocked it straight away and he relaxed. Don't you? Look. Eddie Hearn immediately could tell he's fucked, you know? Look at Eddie Hearn's face. He immediately can tell, yeah, he's fucked, you know? He can tell. You can immediately tell shit. You're like, okay, this guy's fucked. So you just kind of, you dial down the fucking interaction. You're like, all right, cool, whatever. It's the glasses too. Yeah, the glasses. Oh yeah, the glasses. I didn't even clock the glasses. Yeah, the glasses are the biggest tell, isn't it? Like, what are you hiding, motherfucker? What are you hiding? The sauce. Everyone's calling him the plug. He ate some cat off that good Colombian. Big up Red Don. Zooted and booted. Big up Jared Millerick. He's like Andrew W. He's not Taco Bell Mexican at all. Shades inside. Oh, amazing, bro. Uche, he's the plug, exactly. People thought Ryan Garcia's the plug. It was the dad the whole time. People thought Ryan Garcia was a problem. No, it was the dad the whole time. We didn't realize it was the fucking dad.
Sorry.
I know you're emotional.
Man, sorry.
Listen, it's a sport. When you win,
I know,
I'll
but
give you all the respect in the world.
Okay, give Ryan the respect.
I just told him.
You did?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
This is how we work.
Sorry.
Don't worry. I respect you. I accept your apology.
Thank you.
No problem. Big respect to.
That was fucking awesome, man. I love that interaction. That was so good. Anyway, let's continue.
That. As far as talent, so there's Shakur Stevens, right? There's Haney, there's Garcia, and then Tank. Like, those are the four big dogs. Haney's the least talented, but he's the hardest worker, most disciplined. As far as God-given talent, Haney's last on that list.
Really?
Ryan, freak, right, with his power. Javante Davis has a gift from God.
Yeah.
Shakur Stevenson, freak. But the one who never misses practice, never shows up late, trains every day, whether as a fight or not, the most disciplined, the most professional is Haney.
Wow.
So when you take that and then you look at what Garcia's doing, you're like, there's no way, dude. But, you know, it was fantastic.
It was an amazing fight.
My thing is like him, so you know he's not the champion now because the belts weren't on the line.
Right.
What's weird, and this is controversial, anytime that a fighter agrees to fight a guy overweight, that means, and this is in the history of boxing, that means Ryan can't get the belts. He can't get the championship belt, so it's not for a championship. But if the current champion still goes on with the fight, his belts are on the line, meaning he wouldn't give them to Ryan. They would just be vacated.
Up for grabs.
Yeah, so this is the first time they went, no, Haney still keeps his belts, win or loss.
Well,
that's very strange.
That rematch is going to be
very
exciting.
strange. Yeah.
That rematch is
Didn't it always used to be like that? If you miss weight, or if the person misses weight, the belt is never up for grabs. It always just be. That's a fair way to do it, isn't it? Why would it be up for grabs for everybody else? Doesn't make sense. Why would it be? You know, doesn't it always work that way?
I'm way
Probably at 147.
Do you think so?
I think so.
Wow.
Yeah. Because it's a tough cut for both of them. And
Is
clearly
it
Ryan.
tough for both of them?
Yeah, both of them. Clearly Ryan.
Why
does
not
it.
put it at 147? Why not?
Yeah, get the
Ryan's
best
getting
of him.
bigger.
Well, like when Lomachenko fought Haney, like Haney gets big. Like
Let's fast forward the fight chat. Let's go to Eric Carl. I don't know.
So you don't think Lomachenko?
Let's. We don't care about the fight talk. Let's get into the podcast.
No, if I'm wrong about this, I have not seen Ryan Garcia use that.
Nope, we don't care. Let's go see the podcast. Come on.
in the same gym as
Wow, they took
amazing.
For once, they're actually abiding by the name of the podcast. They're actually talking about fights for once, and I think they should do this more often because, weird enough, as annoying as Brian is, he oddly knows a bit more than Brendan. Maybe because he doesn't have any experience, he kind of watches it a bit more attentively and shit. He actually has some decent takes on fighting, but Brendan has this ego where he doesn't like to talk fighting with Brian. But they're actually abiding by the name of the podcast, The Fighter and the Kid, and they're talking about fights. So it's good to actually hear it for once, but I don't want to hear it.
I think it's both.
Come on. Just get to the pod.
Into it.
Yeah.
I think it's both.
Both.
Gave you guys nearly 705 days.
Hopefully they change subject after this.
It's progressive.
Look, O'Reilly Auto Parts, who are in the business of keeping
I
your
want to hear
car
Brendan
on the
say,
road.
O'Reilly
Auto Parts
Let's hear
offer
him say it.
friendly, helpful service and the parts knowledge you need for all.
This must be a good fucking sponsor, innit? They must pay decent, innit? O'Reilly must pay decent for podcast placements. This must be a good money earner. This must be a decent money earner.
Your maintenance and repairs, okay? They got thousands of parts and accessories in stock, either in store or online, so you never have to worry if you're in a jam. And the team at O'Reilly Auto Parts can test your battery for free in or out of your car. If it needs to be replaced, they'll help you find just the right battery for your vehicle, okay? You need windshield wipers? You need a brake light fixed? You need a quick service? They'll help you find the right part or point you to the nearest local shop repair for help, okay? And you're a car aficionado, Brennan, okay?
I am, but even if you're a rookie, dude, you'll find the employees at O'Reilly Auto Parts are super knowledgeable, helpful, and best of all, super friendly. The professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts are your one-stop shop for all things auto do-it-yourself, and you can find what you need in store or online. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit them at O'ReillyAuto.com/fighter. That's O'ReillyAuto.com/fighter. Yeah, they agreed to.
Wow, he said that all without. Wow, look, they're doing ad reads properly now. Wow. They definitely got in trouble for something, innit? Or definitely someone threatened to leave. They never did that before. They just record them on the spot, on the fly. Brennan didn't fuck up a word. He said that all, they now record, they pre-record ad reads like professionals. Wow, interesting.
For every half pound, it's 500,000.
Well, that rematch.
I think Garcia's again. They're going Garcia like.
By the way, I see some of you guys talking about Brendan at UFC events. Big up Dexter, and I see someone else mentioned it too. I don't think Papa's banned to attend UFC events. I think he's afraid to face the fighters. Remember the fight campaign with Rogan, which he was trying to invite himself to UFC events with Eddie. I don't think that's the case, Dexter and a few other people. I think it's more embarrassing than that. I think Brendan is worried about going to the UFC. Number one, because he's afraid that Dana's fucking petty and you'll have him escorted out in front of everybody. But I think the number one reason why he doesn't go to UFC events is because UFC don't give him free tickets to sit at the front row, like where the celebrities sit, where Theo usually is. That's the main reason. Because he knows Dana or the UFC won't give him a free ticket to be front row, that's why he doesn't go. He's probably too proud to buy a ticket, or maybe he feels like because he's a former fighter, he should get, like, you know, regardless of what we think about him as a fighter, he should get tickets to watch fights. Come on. Do you know what I mean? Like, but he doesn't because obviously he fell out with Dana, but he probably feels like he shouldn't have to buy it. He should get invited because he's a former fighter, because he's a noteworthy person. He's friends with Rogan. If Theo gets invited, why can't I? I think that's the main reason why he doesn't go. If he really wanted to go see, if he really was a fan of the UFC and really wanted to watch a live show, he could easily buy a ticket and go himself if he wanted to. And I'm sure he'd be perfectly fine. But he doesn't go because Dana and the UFC don't give him free tickets and don't give him front row seats. That's the main reason, which is really, 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 really hilarious.
Like, you know, people have done this before where they agree to a certain weight and then the guys come in overweight and then they beat the shit out of them because they're an advantage. They're not depleted.
Oh, no more fighting talk. Come on, get to topics.
It's that last 1 to 2 pounds.
Wow, they talk about fighting the whole time, innit?
He might, maybe he's one of these outliers, like, he's one of those guys. The odds are he's not. To numb what's going on in my personal life. He just went through a divorce, doing some other shit. Like, it's exhausting. Game plan for it, and you're going to lose. But that was with his old camp.
Come on. Stop talking about this shit, bro.
All the talent being 100% focused. first round. Wham!
Come on, shut the fuck up about this fighting stuff. Get
Did
some
you guys see
topics.
what Connor came out and said?
Oh, there we go.
I guess Connor went to him right away and started talking to him and just kept telling him, you know, I can't wait to see the rematch. He was so impressed. To me, though, isn't that kind of just adding to the issue you're talking about? Like, look, he made it by this time. That's great. Don't want the kid to think he can do this again and the outcome will be the same. And then you got one of the greats, Conor McGregor, coming and patting you on the back.
Connor's a wild.
And Connor was on coke that day as well. Connor was definitely steaming because he looked fucked. And you could tell Ryan as a Kana to Caners. Caners know. Big up my Caners in the chat. Caners to Kana, you know when somebody's on it. And Ryan could see immediately that Connor was on stuff when he was giving him the talk. So, you know, again, he's young, man. I don't have a problem with it. He's young. He'll figure it out, or he doesn't. He had a fun fight. You know, he's made some money. It's all good. I think people are being overly concerned about this stuff. It'll be okay. And bloody hell, he's Mexican. I'm sorry, bro. Mexicans just built different. Like, people just need to relax. He's built different. Mexicans are built different. They can literally do lines and go for an 8-mile run, and it's perfectly fine. Yes, it might, you know, it might not last forever, but he's here for a good time, not a short time, or not a long time. He's made a bunch of money. He probably sends a lot of it back home, buys properties. I don't think he's done with his money either. He'll be fine, man. He'll be fine.
Wild boy. Connor gets by with this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But
he doesn't get by with it, but he tries.
He does, though. Yeah. Connor's been wild. I mean, you're talking about one of the greatest of all time.
But I think what got him to the dance, like everything else, was that
he's always been a wild boy.
But
oh yeah, big up Vagabond. Oh yeah, I'm gonna add that to my watch later list. Actually, thank you for reminding me, Vagabond. Ryan Garcia on PBD, innit? Yeah, thank you for reminding me about that. I need to watch that out. I need to watch that. I'm gonna add that to my watch later right fucking now. Where is it? There we go. Valuetainment. I'm gonna add it to my thing right. Oh, is the full thing out yet, or just the clips? Okay, the full thing isn't out just yet. Just the clips. Okay, cool. I think so, right? Is this the clips or what? Oh no, the full thing is out. Cool. 1 hour 20 minutes. Cool. I'll definitely watch that later. Thank you for reminding me there, my friend. Thank you for reminding me about that one. Thank you.
You don't suck down to 45 the way he did without being just Spartan, and then
he's still wild boy though. Trust me, still wild.
Certainly a talker.
But then the money, like you gotta then the UFC's different because Ryan's had money, but then when he had money with.
Okay, enough of the fighting. Jack off. Come on, get to topics.
Very rare.
Great fighters.
Get to topics. Get
Very
topics.
rare.
Topics.
I mean, look.
Think how great.
Durant,
No, I haven't. I'll text him.
I wonder if Brendan is obsessed with this because of the. I wonder if Brendan's obsessed with this because it reminds him of his failures as an athlete. Maybe he's obsessed with this Ryan Garcia thing because Ryan Garcia is proof that sometimes at the highest levels, it doesn't matter what you do really. If you're good, you're good. It's like, who's that footballer that used to eat McDonald's all the time? Is it Ocho Cinco? Right? Sometimes at the highest levels, people are just naturally gifted. Doesn't matter what they do. They're just really good at what they do. And maybe Brendan's like reminiscing and having a flashback of the times that he played football. Because no matter how hard he trained, how much tape he watched when he went to try and become a football player, it just never happened for him because he wasn't as talented as other people. Maybe that's why he keeps talking about it. Maybe. Either way, move on.
Amazing.
He might be like, you piece of shit.
No, it's not. That's.
But again, I'm not in with his close circle, so I don't. If they would be like, hey, chill out on that stuff, dude.
The kids say, "Will be lit." Okay, guys. Yeah. And if this was 2000, if you put me in a fucking time machine and it's 2003, do you know how dope that?
Okay, come on. This pod is fucking awful. What's going
Jason
on?
texts me. He's new to that side of things, so he was so upset. You know, he's like, this piece.
Oh, okay. They're talking about the Dana White thing.
It's like all these texts.
It's talking about the Dana White thing. Cool.
And then, I put the phone.
That's what the
rematch is going to be.
Fresh is fun. I want to bring Fresh back. Speaking of, I'll tell you, got Fresh with me. I sent to you was Dana White.
That's a hard fucking pivot. I'll tell you, got Fresh with me. Lols.
Right. I sent to you and Rogan.
It's awesome.
Of course he sent it to Rogan. Of course he sent it to Rogan. Of course he ran to fucking Daddy Rogan. Of course. Fucking. He probably texts Rogan before he texts his dad. Can you imagine? Rogan, Dana said something about. It's like, come on. Weren't you just a badass? Weren't you just threatening to kill every hater?
I want you to patch that bridge up.
It's patched. There's no issues. I don't have an issue with him. He doesn't have an issue with me.
Brian knows there is issues. He doesn't like you.
Hey.
Yep.
I was coaching my son's baseball team, and then I put the phone away in the cubby there in the dugout, and I'm sitting there and I hear it going zzz, zzz. I'm like, what the fuck's going on, man? And I was like, I'm just gonna leave it. And it goes zzz, zzz, and getting a bunch of texts. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Then I look at it and it's like all these texts, like you see this, you see this. I was like, oh, in my heart I went, oh no, not again. What is it? It's gonna be really bad. And I watched it, I'm like, oh, that's fine. Yeah, good for him. Yeah, they crushed it. It's all good.
Crushed it.
Yeah, it's all good. But I don't think Mayhem's, Mayhem Miller, Jason texts me. He's new to that side of things. So he was so upset. He's like, this piece of shit, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, whoa, no, dude, it's really not.
That was a great video that Dana did, actually. Hilarious. And he was right.
But that's cool, yeah.
It was a good video, too.
Yeah, it was a really good video. Very good. Kudos to Dana. Did it once again. Let's take a little break because I got to tell.
Come on.
Colors.
True.
Come on, fuck off.
Okay, well, here you go. You don't.
Come on.
I trade.
How many ads do they have? How many ads do they have on this podcast? 50 minutes and they have like 6 ads. Fucking hell, bro. It's 55 minutes and they must have like maybe more than 6. Like, God almighty. Wow. They probably have more than audio as well. If you listen to the audio is King side, they probably have baked in ads that whoever the podcast sponsor is, that they probably insert in. Jesus.
Trillion, all these things that promote tissue dilation, if you will. Okay,
dude, blood flow to the penis is fantastic.
That's what it's about.
That's what it is.
Here's the bottom line: you want to increase blood flow to your dong, and that's where Joy Mode comes in. Joy Mode is what you want to deal with. Joy Mode was created because the products on the market are terrible, and they knew they could do better. Prescriptions come with all sorts of side effects, and the over-the-counter gas station bills, obviously, we.
Come on, fuck off.
We like to break down tape.
Fuck off.
And when he goes, like, I love the way he goes after the mainstream media. He goes, I'm not doing interviews anymore. Fuck all you guys. And I love that. He's like the one powerful person.
I don't love that. I don't love.
Brendan, I don't love that. Yeah, because you hate Dana. That's why.
That, like, not doing interviews with certain MMA outlets, like mainstream, like Fox and that, and CNN. I'm with you. That stuff.
That's what
but when it comes to like major outlets
when
in
the New York
MMA,
Times said the New York Times.
Oh no, agree with that.
I don't give a fuck what they said. Some dumb journalist wants clicks, and I was like, God bless you.
Yeah, that I like.
I think what makes him special is his passion. He just really fucking loves.
He would have to, because if you gave me that money, I'm not.
You're going to be
no.
gone.
There's no.
He's working harder, as hard or harder than he's ever worked.
Yeah,
and
that's what you appreciate.
He puts on the best show in town. It
by
is the
far,
greatest.
Yeah,
by far. No one's been able to touch. No one, for whatever reason, has been able to do the magic that guy does.
There's a lot of reasons, but yeah.
Yeah.
Brendan's
a lot of reasons, but whatever.
Brendan's. I love how he keeps saying he's got no problem with Dana, but he keeps reminding you how much he hates Dana. There's a lot of reasons. He's got rich friends, the Fertitas brothers. Brendan, just admit it. Just absorb the hate. Just be honest with it. Just embrace it. You hate Dana. Brendan has every right to not like Dana. They have a personal relationship. They have personal history. They have personal beef. They work together. I don't know why he tries to keep up this image that I'm not a hater. Yes, you are. You're probably a bigger hater than anybody out there. That's the thing, because Brendan has everything. He got given everything on a silver platter, but he still hates. Hates on people who sell more tickets. He hates on funnier comedians. He hates on bigger podcasts. He hates on Dana. He hates on fighters. He's an actual bona fide hater. He hates black people. He hates Mexicans, even though half his family's Mexican. Just embrace that you're a hater. You are a hater. You are a hater. Embrace it. Embrace it.
Whatever reason. You can't put it in a bottle. It's just him. It's him.
Yeah, I've definitely dealt with worse. That's what I told Mayhem. Like, oh, buddy, this isn't. Do you know the history of me and Dana? This is soft serve, baby.
Mm-hmm.
This is. I didn't mind this one. I say some wild shit.
I didn't mind this one. So, but then you're friends, allegedly.
You know?
Yeah, you do. Sometimes
You don't say wild shit. You just say dumb shit.
get bit in the ass.
Not really. This one, like, I'm glad for him, but that UFC 300, you remember too, that's taken out of
It's
context.
all good. It's all good. Hey,
But
you don't have to.
no, I'm just telling you, so you know, like, that's taken out of context. Like, remember when UFC 300 was announced, they like slowly leaked out fights, and we were told it was gonna be better than 100 and 200, and it wasn't. So my take on that is from the fights that were announced. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Now as he got closer, I was like, oh yeah, this is dope. They don't.
No, you didn't say that. You went super hard and said that the card would be terrible. You predicted it would be terrible. We're not getting blown. I'm not getting blown. Shut up, man. Shut up. We saw what you said. This guy's inability to accept when he just anyway, whatever. That's what makes it entertaining, isn't it? But fuck, it's exhausting, bro. We have. It's been recorded. We can play back the tape. You hated on the fucking card the entire time. It's fine. Like, you got called out. It happens. Keep it moving.
Show that. That's not gonna make videos.
No, that's fine. It's great. It's all good. You gave respect.
Of course, Brian's got his fucking dumb toe holds on. How do you have time to put on jeans, to wear a fucking dad fleece, a shitty t-shirt, and have your silicone ring, but then you can't wear some shoes? How can you put an entire outfit on, but then you choose to wear sandals? What's wrong with you? Don't you have any respect? You're going to work, technically. You're at work. Put some shoes on. Especially if your feet are going to be on camera. Put some fucking shoes on. Have some respect. Fucking hell.
What else we got?
You want some current events?
Sure.
All right, so let me just start with this real quick.
Current events.
What did you do this weekend?
Big up Brendan Mallory
on Saturday, and
big up Brendan Mallory. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you.
then Sunday we went to Forever Ford convention. Well, like car meet. It's
If
at
you could put a fucking
Irwin.
a plane engine, an F-16 engine in your car, would you do it?
Yeah, I'll try it.
You would try.
Yeah, I'll try it.
Yeah, there's no engine. There's no engine too small that you wouldn't.
Car guy.
Yeah.
You should have seen some of these cars at that Forever Ford day. Man. I mean, they run 5 seconds, quarter mile.
Car guy.
My kiddos loved it. Absolutely loved it. So we went to Forever Ford Day. We met Steve Saline, who created Saline Mustangs.
Mm-hmm.
The boys got to meet him. And then I'm driving back. My boy hits me up. He's like, yeah, it's Mopar Day in Encino. I was like, pick him up. So we stopped there. Back-to-back car shows,
And
man.
you're just inundating your boys love cars too, huh?
Just forcing your kids to be materialistic is fucking incredible, isn't it? Dripping them in brands, taking them to car shows and shit. It's just hilarious. This new interest you just picked up, which you're going to drop soon. Hilarious.
They love them, yeah. They know all the cars. I love it. The call out the car. That's Tiger's favorite car, AC Cobra, which is wild because it's from the 60s.
Wow.
No, they love them. Whenever they see a Tesla, they go boo in the car. It's so hilarious.
Press X out. Press X out.
Yeah, it's fun time, man.
Oh, look at that lightning. That's nice.
Yeah.
Bossy kept going, Dad, my legs are barbecued. My legs are barbecued. Demon 170 there.
Love it.
Yeah, it was a good time. A little baseball, little car show action.
Nothing wrong with that. That's Americana right there. It's
Doesn't get
Americana.
any more American than that, buddy.
Love it. Give us something.
All right, so this is
Yeah, good question. How long does the car grift last? I think this one he could do it for a while. This could be like a good background one because the other car thing was a good background one, right? Because he could technically Brendan could say he's always been into cars because of the Porsche era, right? The Ferrari era. He could technically say he's always been a gearhead, but at one point he liked to drive the cars that Rogan had, luxury sports cars. Then when Rogan changed and wanted to drive pickup trucks and muscle cars, suddenly Brendan's into them. American muscle cars. So clearly that's a thing. But it's an easy interest to have in the back. Like it's an easy base level, not base level, it's an easy background hobby, that isn't front of center. I'm still curious to see what the main, I'm balls deep into this hobby is going to be. The one that's going to replace fishing. Oh no, that's the one that's going to replace fish. The one that's going to replace bikes. the one that's going to replace weightlifting, the one that's going to replace like trainers. I'm curious to see what that one will be. I predicted it'll be barbecue. He's going to become a Traeger barbecue dude. That's my prediction, but I think I'm off on that one. But I'm curious to see what that front I'm going to show off, I'm going to be this guy kind of thing's going to be. I'm just curious to see what that one be. Maybe it might be guns, which I don't know. He doesn't like to talk about guns too much. I don't know why. But maybe it might be guns. Maybe he might end up being like one of those type of dudes that goes to that place where people do the tactical shooting. Maybe. Barbecue or guns?
This is super
Are
frustrating.
you going to talk about the protests on Columbia University?
No.
Hold on.
Hold on, what's this?
Yeah.
My brother showed me this. This is a Chicago University student fending off someone that's trying to steal her phone, right? And look at the people around her. And they did not. I'll just show you the video. It's only 1 minute long, so.
That's what happened.
Before 3 in the 5600 block of
This guy, especially, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, he's a bitch.
Confrontation happened, and the suspect demanded her phone before flashing the gun. The pair got into a tussle.
Look at this bitch.
She was smart enough to take the magazine out.
Maybe my phone, maybe the gun. It's
Excuse me? Nah, people are insane. You wrestled a person that had a gun for your mobile phone. Give up the phone. Give up the fucking phone. The woman is fucking stupid. And if I was a guy sitting down, I wouldn't have jumped in either. I'm not going to save you when you don't want to save yourself. Give up the phone. It's not that deep. Walk away. Give up the fucking phone. How dumb is this? Like, people are insanely attached to their fucking material things. Like, honestly. I know it's heartbreaking to lose your phone or to get stolen. But when somebody's got a gun, it's pretty easy to give it up. Live to fight another day. Buy another one. You can't buy another life.
really like a blackout moment for me. And I realized that I was able to grab the magazine out of the gun.
The loaded magazine, now in police custody, Maddie says, and she hopes it will help solve the crime.
Hey, pause it, Jim.
Yeah.
That girl is insane.
Real quick, this kid went south really fast. How stupid is it to fight someone with a gun who's going for your... Take my
It was her
iPhone.
instinct.
Take my iPhone 10. By
It was
the
her
way.
instinct.
No, her instinct is stupid. For once, Brendan's got a good point here. For once, Brendan is actually right. For once, he's right. Her instincts were stupid. Wrestling somebody with a gun, taking up the magazine, which means you're grabbing the fucking, whatever, the bit where you hold it. I forgot the name of it. So you could have accidentally went off. You could have shot yourself. You could have shot him for a mobile phone.
Yeah. Also, what's on that phone?
Yeah. But it was just her instinct. She just probably grabbed
Yeah.
for it. And fucking...
By the way, you say that, but if someone's trying to take your phone or your phone, are you going to fight back or not?
If there's like multiple guys,
They're right
and-
there.
No.
You
If there's
might not have
multiple
seen the gun
guys,
at
if there's
first.
multiple guys, and they're like, "Give us your phone," I'm not gonna be like, "Absolutely not."
Yeah,
Bring it.
There you go.
Brent, I think all of us would.
But
fight
that
for our
guy's
phones.
a...
No, all of us wouldn't. Chin's a fucking dummy. No, we wouldn't. Chin, you fucking... I don't want to say the word because I want to get banned from YouTube. You can't even save the meat you take when you go fishing. You can't even keep birds of prey away from the barbecue meats that you have about to cook. You can't keep raccoons away from nicking your shit. And here you are saying you're going to save a woman's life when she's been accosted by some guy with a strap. Imagine how unhinged you have to be as a person to rob somebody of their phone with a gun in the first place. Imagine where you are in life. Imagine where you are in life that you're willing to risk your freedom, you're willing to take somebody else's life for a mobile phone that they'll most likely block you from using anyway. Most smartphones get bricked unless you're sending it back home to your family members in fucking Africa, in Southeast Asia, in whatever third world country your fucking family's from, abroad somewhere. If you steal a phone, it's basically useless. It's a brick, especially if you stay in that same country. So imagine the psycho you have to be as a person to steal someone's phone with a gun. Now you're willing to jump in front of them for your mobile phone that's probably got a cracked screen or a shitty fucking, it doesn't charge properly or whatever. Like, huh? You can't even save your glasses fell off your face the other day, didn't they? You can't cook yourself a good warm meal without fucking something up. But here you are, allegedly, you're going to save somebody's life. All right. Cool.
If they
had a gun to my face, no.
Yeah.
Take my phone. I want to live.
Yeah, that
Fuck
guy.
this phone.
That guy sitting there is such a bitch. Like,
Oh no,
just-
keep.
Brian Callen's a fucking donut. No, you're the bitch, allegedly. These guys watch too much fighting, innit? It's what happens when you live in Hollywood and you watch too many movies and too much fighting. Number one, they're not really like if you're outside like a regular person, you see so many crazy people doing crazy shit. You just keep it moving because it's just crazy people do. Like it's like, what do you want me to do? Risk my life and not go home to my family to save you when you're grappling? You're playing fucking tug the gun. You're not playing tug the rope. You're playing tug the gun with some psycho dude with his hood up at 2 p.m. in the afternoon with a gun in his hand. Is that an extendo clip or something? Is that like? No.
Keep watching, Brian. You're gonna get even more frustrated. I got so frustrated and irritated by this.
You're not a man, bro.
And there's another.
Two suspects with handguns reported in the 1300 block of East.
Let me just fast forward here.
Can always ask for more from our campus and our city.
Keep watching. This guy's just sitting there, and then someone runs away.
As they should.
Wow.
Says her reaction was a need.
And
if you've ever been in a situation that's traumatic like this in real life, it does capture you by surprise, and it does kind of, what's that thing called? It does you can sometimes not move because it's happening in real life, and your brain's still trying to process it, and sometimes it happens in a flash. So you don't judge people based on the video you see because it's easy to say this in whatever.
I forgot to tell you I won Shin's merch contest from yesterday, lol.
Big up, really. Big up, Uche. What did you take? 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 Did you take this? What did you take? Of course, Uche entered it. We know Uche's taste. We know Uche's taste in men, innit? We know. What did you get? Did you get the sweats or the t-shirt? What did you get? It's a t-shirt, a sweat, and a hoodie, right? Look at Uche. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Look at you. I don't know. I don't know. Uche, I don't know. Yeah, right. I don't know. Oh, hilarious. I love it. 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 Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Glad to know it went to a good home. I'm glad to know it went to a good home. All I did was ask if he could 5 items campaign. I love it. I love it. I love it. Well done. Congratulations to Uche anyway. Congrats to Uche. Congrats. Congrats. Maybe this is the start of great things. Brian Callen face. Maybe this is the start of great things, huh?
Watch this.
And she's thankful to be okay.
I couldn't necessarily really register the threat ahead of me.
Look at this guy.
So
I cannot stand this dude. I'm like,
fighting back
Oh, he's jumping in a Tesla.
It's definitely not worth it.
What a pussy.
two guys ran away from this.
Yeah.
Dude, not helped her. Like,
And
what
this
the
is the problem with
is Chin's Korean honor system thing kicking in? What does he think he's gonna do to somebody? What can Chin do to somebody? Does Chin out here thinking he's fucking John Wick? Makes me so angry. Nigga, you were just eating custard bacon the other day. You should be angry that that stuff is fucking lining your small intestines.
men. If that was in Russia or somewhere like or Dagestan, that guy would be so fucking dead.
Or even here,
dude,
even
like that.
here or parts of Texas.
In
Like
Texas,
it depends
you
where
get
you're
shot.
at. Texas or
I agree.
You do that parts out here,
But in Chicago with those really strict.
You know what? You know why these topics are really interesting, because they always bring out the immaturity and how dumb these guys are. Because this is one of those topics where like guys want to like show off how like badass they are and how much of a, how much, they don't give a fuck. You don't look like a badass, mate. In that scenario, especially if you see the gun, if you want to be a hero and help the woman, we don't see the gun, fair enough. But if you see the gun and you see a woman wrestling with a guy with a gun, that's her problem. That's her business. If you don't see a gun or something you want to help, cool. But there's a gun there. She's wrestling somebody with a gun to protect her phone. Like, it's idiotic that she's the idiot, because she's putting everybody's life at risk. Because she's a woman, a blonde lady, wrestling with some guy that looks black or maybe Hispanic. So people are going to want to help her because she's a woman in distress. But she's putting everybody's life at risk because she's willing to fucking fight some guy with a gun for her smartphone. You know how insane that is? She's the fucking idiot. She's not a hero. She's the fucking idiot, to be honest. I'm sure her parents aren't going to be happy. If my parents wouldn't be happy. I don't know about you guys, but to find out you fought somebody with a fucking knife to protect your back, like what?
Strict gun laws, how's that working out? All the criminals have guns. So all your gun control seems to be doing great for criminals and shitty for regular.
But also, this is what they push is like these beta males. Like this is what you get. They're going to start robbing women and children, and then the beta males. I'm like,
how beta is it to sue a YouTuber for clipping a clip of you, allegedly handing a note to somebody on live stream? Does that count as being Does that count as being beta? Does it count as being beta that allegedly you had to buy your mother-in-law a house because you got caught cheating? Is that count as being beta? I'm wondering. Does that count as being that you have to lie about every time you don't sell tickets? Does that count? Does that count or not? I don't know. Let me know. Does that count or not?
My God, I can't handle this.
Oh, masculinity is terrible. It's patriot.
Also, Callan, shut the fuck up. Weren't you letting Steven Crowder whip you while you were dressed up like a cow and you were dressed up like a gay cowboy in leather? Weren't you bent over letting fucking Steven Crowder slap you? Aren't you the butt of all jokes every time you go on a show? Aren't you the literal whipping boy every time you go on a pod? Don't you somehow enjoy other men dunking on you? Isn't that a bit of a cuck beta thing to do? I don't know. Let me know.
Patriarchal, fuck off.
How about that criminal holding guns to people's faces?
Too bad he's not in
iPhones.
Texas, so somebody could shoot him in the fucking head.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was.
Man, I get.
Yeah, sure. Some person's gonna shoot him in the head, or maybe they're not, and they miss and they kill somebody that's just walking by, minding their business. Yeah, that's what we want, right? We want more people with guns to kill other people that have guns, who have no training holding a gun, how to use a gun. That's gonna be a great thing, isn't it? Yeah, sure. Like there's not fucking cowards in Texas. Didn't that thing in the school that Uvalde was Uvalde, Texas? Was that in Texas? Where those police officers were standing outside the school. They were all trained. They have weapons training. They've seen some dicey things. But guess what happened when they were in the moment, when they were there, hearing some school shooter blitz through a school? They were scared. They were stuck with fear. That's what happens in real life. These guys talking from the comfort of their fucking chairs, literally armchair quarterbacking. It's easy to talk like a badass when you're sitting in your air-conditioned studio somewhere. I would have done this, I would have done that. No, you wouldn't have. You would have drove by in your Tesla on the way to go to an audition. You would have drove by on the way to go to fucking Sweet Green. Like, let's not play games. You would have drove on by to go and fucking meet Rogan because you care about your career more than you care about that girl on the street getting robbed. Shut up. Shut up, bro. You guys didn't even stand up for your friend when you got fucking accused of rape or fucking of diddling. You didn't even stand up for your friend. Brendan, you fucking kicked your best friend off the pod because the sponsors were about to pull away. Even though you're anti-cancel culture, you told your friend to take a break away from the pod because it was going to get cancelled because the sponsors didn't want to continue having Brian on there when he was accused of rape. The times that these guys could have stood up for themselves and actually said fuck you to the establishment, they didn't do it. They cowered and ran. They cowered and ran away. Didn't speak up for their friends. Fucking Cast Media fucked over Theo Von, robbed them of loads of money. Guess what Brendan did? signed up with Podcast One, got his money and said, I'm all right. At least I got my money. At least I got paid. What happened to standing up to the establishment? What happened to standing up for your friends? Exactly. You can't stand up for your friends, but you're going to stand up for some girl getting her phone robbed. Fuck off.
Get aggressive.
I got so pissed off when I watched that thing.
It makes me, yeah.
I got pissed off when you had to eat menudo tacos. That's what I got pissed off by. You know that, Chin? This is what I got pissed off from, Chin. When I saw a grown man eating menudo tacos, this shit pissed me off. Seeing an adult Asian man, Asian people that I've known in my whole entire life, those guys of you in the flipping stream chat can attest this. Every Asian person I've met in my entire life is either a foodie or an incredible cook. Every Asian person I've known in my entire life is either a foodie or an incredible cook. You somehow thought this was an edible meal that you should share with the world, with some Korean fucking geotags on there as well. Embarrassing your fucking nation of where you're from. Look at this shit.
Taco? I did, from one of these cans.
This is embarrassing.
So I drained this out as much as I could, took out as much hominy as I could.
Look at that shit. That's stuff you give to your fucking dog.
And this is what I'm left over with. This is guacamole I made with this. Hopefully.
He lives in LA. He lives in LA and he's got guacamole season mix out of a fucking packet. He lives in fucking California and he has guac in a packet. Menudo from a tin. This is embarrassing.
It's not backwards, it probably is. And these are zero net carb tortillas, which...
Of course, that's the most important thing, right? The most important thing about having a tortilla is making sure it has 0% carbs. Low-fat tortillas are always the most tastiest. We know that, don't we?
We'll see about that. I'm warming up the tortilla over a flame like this.
Look at that grill. Look at the disgusting nature of that fucking grill, of that flame. Lives by himself. Can't even give that grill a quick spray with some antibacterial, just some surface cleaner, just to get this gunk off. Look at all this gunk all over the place. Look at it. Just covered in shit. Doesn't even put the fucking tortilla on the frying pan. What you could do here, easy. Or just put a tray. Heat the tray up and put the tortilla on there. Easy to handle. Or put a frying pan there and just put the tortilla in there, flip it a couple of times. Why is he doing this? He can't even cook properly and he's doing this. You saw it on Instagram.
As I've been taught from my friends, I eat this meal.
Oh, yeah, interesting.
So this is what I have right now.
Look at that
a
shit.
little drizzle of cheese.
Look at that shit.
And then this is the stomach lining. The tripe, tripe, menudo, and of course a giant bottle of Cholula.
The only good thing he's got is a Cholula. That's the only good thing. The sauce. Look at that. Look at that. Prison. People in prison wouldn't fucking eat this shit. Inmates would vomit. Inmates would go on a hunger strike if they were presented with this.
Stomach lining. And here we go.
And by the way, watch his face when he eats it. Watch his face. Even him, a guy that eats fucking sausages from 7-Eleven, watch his face when he swallows it. He tastes disgusting. He knows. Look, watch his face. Look at his face.
Of course it's delicious. Give it a shot.
Look at that swallow. Look at that swallow.
Of course it. Of course it.
By the way, I like the cut. You see how he cut it? He cut the clip because he made a disgusting face. Look at that. That's actually embarrassing. Get out of here, man. Absolute waste, man.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty much every single Tesla Cybertruck has been recalled.
Do you know why?
Yes.
Big up.
That's a North Korean taco.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Big up a DZ. You know what's funny as well, like I said before? Isn't it interesting that no one goes to Chin's house to have dinner? Don't you find that interesting, guys? Nobody ever goes to Chin's house. I find that very interesting. No one ever goes to Chin's house. He always goes to other people's house, but he doesn't have dinner parties at his own house. Why is that? Yeah, they know why, because they've seen the videos. Big up Adizzi, I appreciate you.
The gas pedal
accelerator that could potentially stick.
Meek Mill wrecked his car. There's been people that go goes 120 miles an hour.
Oh my God, that's scary. What?
Theo has one. You better head on a swivel, Bubba. You know damn well Theo ain't taking up the Tesla.
All right.
Yeah, but the fact that they're recalling all of them is
the brake probably overrides the accelerator.
From what I saw, it's a design fault in the adhesive. Allegedly, the adhesive obviously comes loose. It's not great. It doesn't stick properly, and unfortunately, the gap between the front of the accelerator pedal and where the bit meets the front of the car is the perfect angle, is the perfect gap. So when it goes down and it gets stuck, it can get stuck in a little wedge, like a little door wedge type of thing. It's an oversight in the design. They could change it by probably, shortening the fucking accelerator pedal. It's not too difficult, but it's just one of those errors that you only kind of figure out once people start driving it a lot. But yeah, the adhesive is a bit fucked up. So yeah, it makes sense. It's not a good look for obviously PR wise, but these guys are obviously, because Brendan hates Teslas, he's making it into a big thing, but it's not really that big. It's probably scary for the person driving, of course, but it's not that big of a deal.
Which is,
yeah, of course, but it's still like a terrible thing.
Jesus Christ, that scares me.
No, it just takes off. But also, again, you know me, I hate Tesla, but it's new. Like shit pops up. Like people are gonna post that and be like, oh, look how shitty Teslas are. It's new. It's manufacturing. Shit happens. Like Ford, BMW recall shit all the time.
Yeah, they recall, but to recall every single Tesla Cybertruck that has been,
because not many have been made. You fucking idiot. They're obviously having issues manufacturing them. If you keep it, it's not hard to find this out. They're having a hard time manufacturing them at scale that they announce. People are getting them slowly now. Still, they drip. Even celebrities aren't getting there straight away. It's taking time for everyone to get their Cybertruck. So there's not many out there. So it probably makes more sense to try to recall all of them, because there's only 3,000 plus currently out there. It's probably easier to recall 3,000 than it is to recall 100,000. That's why they're doing it. Why not just be safe than sorry? Make the issue known worldwide. It's been all over the media. They probably sent emails to people that got their delivery of Teslas, and then get it fixed and it's done. Because I'm sure it's an easy fix. Just shorten the fucking accelerator pedal and the problem goes away. It's not easy. It's not hard. And obviously change the adhesive to make sure the thing doesn't slip away from the pedal itself. It's not a big deal.
Delivered. That's
also them covering their ass. Now, not all of them are going to have that problem, but they're going, hold up. If someone dies from this, we're screwed. Bring them all back. And if you don't, that's on you. That's all they're doing.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is Morgan Wallen. So remember, I forgot what.
By the way, I love how none of them covered that Morgan Wallen guy. As much as I love his music, he might be a bit of a piece of shit, innit? The N-word thing, calling his friends niggers and stuff, I don't really mind that, whatever. People do what they do with their friends, have whatever they say. But him throwing that chair from the roof of the hotel down the street, onto the street was wild. Like, he's a really bad drunk and maybe a bit of a bad dude, unfortunately so. He seems nice. His music's decent. But he might be a bit of a piece of shit. But they would never say it. They would never say it. Because, they like this fucking weird country grift. I don't know. And also they want to be like anti-cancel culture. I'm not too sure. But yeah, weird.
That's like last year at some point where Morgan Wallen had to cancel the concert, literally.
Big up Alrighty. AZ, I love watching you get mad and annoyed with Chin. Get angry and annoyed, become outraged. I loved hate Chin. I don't hate Chin. That's a funny thing. I think, as always, the annoyance I have with him, same with Eric Griffin, is more so a reflection of my fear that I could easily end up like someone like this. Like, because he's just like an adult baby. You know what I mean? It's like somebody that's been mollycoddled, somebody that, I wouldn't say not many life experience, but just, I think every man has the ability to end up like a Chin if you're not careful. So I think sometimes when I react viscerally to him, it's just my reaction to like, oh shit, that could easily be me, like we're not all far away from being like this person. Different life experiences, different choices, and suddenly you end up like, 22 going on 55-year-old Asian man who like has no partner, has no family, not really many friends, can't cook, can't look after. I mean, like your whole world revolves around Brendan Schaub. Like it becomes very bleak very quickly when you start thinking about it. But we could all end up like this person. So I think when I react viscerally to it, that's all it is. It's not really a hate of Chin. It's just more so. It's not a hate of him as a person. I don't know him. It's more so what he represents. Like it's like, oh my god, it's like hating DSP. It's like same sort of thing.
After the opening act came up and they said Morgan Wallen had some sort of illness or something, he couldn't perform, and everyone was already there. So this is redemption concert at the same place, and look at the ground here. It's so slippery. Watch.
Is this honestly? I think Chin needs to leave the topics for Sanaz. Look at her face. Even is she impressed? I think Chin needs to leave the topics for Sanaz. This is a topic on a podcast. Morgan Wallen performed on stage. It was wet. He slid. What? This is a topic. Leave the topics to Sanaz, please. Stick to fucking doing the switching and the knobs. Leave the topics to Sanaz. Morgan Wallen slipped on the stage while he was performing. That's a topic of discussion. No wonder the show is only 55 minutes long. Fucking hell.
So he has to like really like. Yeah, he was able to make it through.
Is it raining?
No, it's just a slippery platform.
Did you see Luke Bryan fall?
No,
he ate shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my god. Chin is a fucking redact. The more entertaining topic would be the Luke Bryan one, right? Because he slips. I think it's the one where he slips, and then he gets the person on the camera to zoom in on his phone, and they replay the slip on the screens. Funny little moment, wherever. That's a far more interesting conversation for a topic, even though it's still shit. Then Morgan Wallen was on a slippery stage and he slipped. He didn't really slip. He slid, and he made it work. That's a topic. Cool.
He eats shit.
Coachella?
Dude, he eats shit hard. And then, but he's funny about it. Like, he starts laughing. And then he goes, bring it up on the big screen. This is hilarious. And so he brought it up for everyone, too. That's how you handle it. He eats shit, though.
Yep.
That's how you should handle the reviews of Gringo Pappy. Bring up IMBD on the big screen. That's how you should have handled it. Bring up the YouTube videos dunking me on the big screen. That's how you should have handled it. Bring up the Beige Frequency documentary. That's how you should have handled the dunks. That's how you should handle it as well. That would have been hilarious.
This one here?
Sure.
8 hours ago.
Yeah, he eats shit.
Like
He starts laughing.
Poor thing. Fell on stage. I know that back was hurting. Fell on stage this weekend after slipping on a cell phone. Fans caught that moment on camera. Thankfully, he was all right. He looked like he all right. But that next day, he got up, started joking about it. Yeah, saying his lawyer.
Anyway, this podcast is horrible. Anyway, it's approaching 6 a.m., my friends. I've got a duck work time. Thank you for tuning in. A pleasure to have your company. I'm actually gonna head to the gym now, actually, because before I leave, so I need to head to the gym, come back, shower, all that good stuff. So I have to fucking bounce. But yeah, that was, interesting. I'm not surprised it lasted 55 minutes now. Haven't seen that. It's fucking awful, the show now, unfortunately. It's definitely not what it used to be, but we're going to keep doing these because it's good to get the live reaction of what's going on and talk about this sort of shit as per usual and try and make it entertaining. But for those of you who are tuning in live, watching, appreciate you as per usual. Please make sure you like the stream before you leave. Like the stream before you leave. Do me a favor and like the stream, please. Thank you very, very much. Episode number 220 of The Random Show. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you guys as always. Look after yourself, take care, all that good stuff. I'll see you guys maybe in a few hours later on. But for now, thank you so much. Appreciate you all. Be well, be safe, take care of yourself, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys again very, 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 very soon. Bye, everybody. Peace.